Bro Plata, where black people and white people talk nonsense. Listen, we have you on because every other episode we just talk at each other. So, you can talk as much as you want. It's fine.
All right.
As long as if Ray doesn't have to talk and doesn't have to steer the ship off the road like he usually does.
Yep.
Then it's good. Yeah.
Look at me. I'm the captain now.
There you go. Yeah, you can have it. Good, because we drive it straight into a volcano usually. So,
except for that's the heart, Tim, and that can never be mended. You know that. The heart always breaks.
Nah, dude, one of your girlfriends take care of that for you.
Oh.
No, they usually go, well, thank you for the free meal. Have a good day, sir.
Ray is a 60-year-old man in a 30-year-old's body.
I am, yeah.
If anyone doesn't know.
Nice.
His references are like way older than they should be for someone his age.
Oh, you know.
Yeah.
I would love to see that fight. And I would be rooting for Greg Hardy the entire time. Funny thing, if you've ever wanted to see me in pain at any point that we've been hanging out, today's your day.
Ray, they see you in pain every time you do a set.
This is true.
Damn.
Yeah. So Thomas has seen it and Tim's never seen it.
No,
it was basically if Mortal Kombat was a shitty like Saturday morning cartoon. Like
Yeah, exactly.
they had like they had a Native American character on there. They had they had the street tough black guy. Like they had all the stereotypes. WMAC masters.
There it is.
It's such a.
So you're
cool
saying it
show.
doesn't hold up? Is that what you're trying to
It
say?
does not at all.
It doesn't look fit full, Ray. Let me see that glass. No, Ray, top it off.
This is like goddamn amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
No, I just want you to follow the rules. What happens if you don't follow the rules? The wheel gets you back again.
This is true.
Why don't you two fight each other? There you go.
I've been
We've
thinking
talked
that,
about
but
it.
I didn't want to say anything.
We have talked about
I'm
this
still out of
for
shape.
years,
I can't
man.
fight anybody right now. I'd
I
probably
am
lose to a
so
9-year-old right
down.
now.
I will meet him at a weight. I don't care if I have to gain weight to fucking fight Tim, but it would mostly be like it would be a rolling match in the cage.
Pretty
like
much.
somebody would take someone down.
What's crazy is out of all of us, Tim looks like he's most likely to be the wrestling fan.
I see so many fucking guys who look like Tim Danko at AIW shows. It's not even funny, and I love I see him. I'm like, I want to buy him a shot, but it's not Tim, and I get sad.
Yeah, and this kid's going to be a star, obviously, and that's what they wanted to happen. They want him to get a big win in London. They're hoping that was going to happen. I mean, did they give him somebody they think he could beat? Well, yeah, but I mean, it's not like Vargas isn't tough. Vargas is a tough guy. And yeah, Pimblett was a big favorite. But that's what they wanted to happen. They want this kid to be one of the next big stars, especially in the lightweight division. And now he's won two fights, one by knockout, right, and one by submission. So now he's going to fight somebody tough, and that division's super stacked. So there's tons of people he could fight. Before you put me on, I'm screaming at my microphone because you didn't put me on. I'm like, she's Mexican, you racist asshole.
I don't know
Hispanic, you monster. But you didn't put me on because you wouldn't talk wrestling. He had I only had one fight. He had two fights, but my one fight lasted longer than his two fights combined by like a lot. I think these both his fights were inside of a minute.
And how did your fight end, Tim?
I got TKO'd in the second round. And there's a lot of guys, strikers that have just became fantastic at takedown defense. I mean, Anderson Silva was good at it. Like Junior Dos Santos was good at it. I mean, those are just the first two I think of. But there's been a lot that, I mean, if you're a striker like that, you have to have good takedown defense. There's been a lot of guys who have great takedown defense, and he's one of them. However, I mean, Robert Whittaker is a striker first. He's not a wrestler. And however, neither really is Cannonier. Maybe a little bit more, but I don't really expect Cannonier to fight him that way. I'm excited to see that fight, though. I don't expect Izzy to lose at all, but I like Cannonier a lot, and he's a tough guy, so I'll definitely watch that fight. But if either of us touch the other one's liver, we'll die, Ray.
Probably. That'd be fun. I want to be the first MMA death of like a true amateur, where it's like the worst fight ever. How
bad would it be if you got
MMA fight, bro?
Killed in the cage. You got killed in the cage by me.
Yes.
His liver exploded.
Oh, hey, everybody. What's up? My name's Tim. This is Bro Plata, episode 343. Yeah, I have two co-hosts. I don't know where either of them are. I honestly don't know where either of them are. Ray set the stream up, but hasn't showed up yet. He usually does this by now, or at least tells me where it's going to be. Also, I haven't heard from him either. He told me Tuesday he was going to be here. Maybe he's going to be a little late. I don't know. I need at least one of them to show up. That'd be cool. But until then, it's me, fam. You got me. Although we can do this. Let's call Ray. Let's call Ray. We're calling him. We're calling him. Is it ringing? There we go. Sorry for the dead silence, but this is Ray not picking up. I'm assuming he's asleep. Lesser percentage of a chance that he is dead. Either of those things could be possible. I'm leading towards asleep. And I'm sorry about the echo. My phone does that. Even when I turn the volume all the way off on my phone, it still bleeds through here. Let me measure his pulse. You coming, fam? I don't know where Ray is. This is the most professional show on the internet, by the way, if you haven't noticed. All right. Hopefully Bray wakes the fuck up, or Paul shows up, or if not, we're gonna just watch me drink bourbon for a while. I mean, I got stuff to talk about, but like, it's stuff I want to talk about with those guys, and I don't really want to repeat it when they show up. Does anybody in the comments? It'd be really cool if someone was in the comments right now, and they're not. This is fun. This is like me, doing a show to right now, no one, possibly people in the future, but people in the future. Number one, I apologize for the goofiness there. We're trying to get a hold of Ray. I apologize. Okay. Also, I apologize for, I don't know, whatever's about to happen here soon. If I knew this was going to happen, I'd be more prepared for this. It's not better when I can get bailed out by questions, from the comments. So anyone watching in the future cannot help me with that right now. But anybody who's on now definitely could. Is anyone on now? Let's see what the internet tells me. I don't really trust these numbers ever, but no, I trust them right now. Am I actually live? I am live, right? Okay, good. I am live, and this is Thursday. I honestly double, triple checked that this is Thursday at 7. Like, is it secretly 7 a.m. and I had no idea? No, it's 7 p.m. I got that right. Thank goodness. Everything else, no idea at this point. There's a baseball game going on. We'll talk about fights right now. There's one baseball game on the wild card games. One of the 4 went to game 3, and that's Milwaukee and the Mets. That's in Milwaukee. Mets made me some money on Monday, and Royals made me some money yesterday. That was cool. I had $200 in bonus bets, and I won $160 in real money. I take that. I decided I wasn't gonna. After 1 or 2 bets lost, I decided. Well, one big bet lost. After that, I decided I wasn't going to try to change my life with bonus bets. I just want to win some actual money. So I did. And I won $160. That's pretty cool. That's good. I haven't won anything in a while. So I won on 3 baseball games. I won on the Mets in game 1 of the doubleheader on Monday. I won on game 1 of the Detroit-Houston series. Detroit won both games, but I won on the first game of the series. And then yesterday, I had the Royals in game 2, and they won that too. So that's cool. My guards play Detroit on Saturday. And I don't know where either of these guys are. Try to call Paul, see if this works. this has never worked before. I've never been able to get a hold of him on this Discord call. I'm gonna try. I feel like at this point I should just have his phone number. I think Ray does. Yeah, it's not working. Well, I really honestly hope they're both all right. How do I? Okay. Yeah. So hope they're not dead. Hope they're not dead. Sorry for the echo. Yeah, and on Facebook it says Ray's online now, which means he's probably asleep next to his phone. See if this works. Trying to call Pulse on the old Facebook. Not looking too good, guys. It's all right. I'll start talking about shit in a minute, but I want to see if I want to make sure I exhausted all options to try to get a hold of these guys before I give up on that for now. Yeah, and it's weird that they're both not here, and they both didn't tell me. Okay. Turn the volume down, fam. Okay. All right. Let's talk about some damn fights and shit. Or not. Is anyone here yet? If anyone is here, we'll talk about whatever you want. You get the whole show right now. It's all you, bro. And what's going on, man? Because do they not share us out, or is there a reason? I don't know what's going on right now. Everything's been real weird. I got to double, triple check, make sure everybody's here. And again, first 12 minutes of the show, have been real shit, and I apologize for that. Okay, I really hope to kick it up here soon, eventually. But right now, my co-hosts are not here, and I didn't expect them not to be here. So now and I don't know where they are. So I'm worried. I'm trying to figure out where they are, and also I'm trying to figure out why no one's here altogether. Is the show even on? And it looks like the show is definitely on. I'm waiting for what did I screw up? Did I screw something up? Is it 7:00 on Thursday, Eastern time? Is it? I think it is. I've been wrong before. I think maybe not in this case, but I don't know. Still haven't heard from any of them. I don't even think I have any emergency thing, man. I wish I had some more people I could just say, hey, want to be on this damn show? Don't really have many right now. Hopefully soon. Sometime soon. Somebody shows up. Or at least tells me where they are. All right. Oh, look, Dane Cook's on tour. You guys get your Dane Cook tickets? Party like it's 2004? Huh? Anybody? All right. Let's hold on. You know what? I can try to do a miracle here. And deal with this. See, this is me trying to put the show together while the show's happening. Usually I show up right on time and these guys are both here, or at least one of them is here. So this is me trying to pull something out of my butt. I'm live and I don't know where Ray or Pulse are. What? This has always happened when one of them does this, they both do it. It happens every time. Every time to me, it happens. Well, well, all right. Also, one reason why I'm not talking is because currently it isn't. I don't know if there's anyone watching. Anyone who is out there, I love you, and I hope that you. Hey, there's two joints. What's up, buddy? I don't know where. I don't know where Pulse or Ray are. Like, they both just didn't show up and didn't tell me. So I'm assuming Ray's asleep. Pulse, I have no idea. Um, yeah, I know, right? Not 100% sure. Yeah, two joints. I hope you're good too, brother. I hope these two guys are good. I hope Ray and Pulse are good. I don't know where they are. They're both supposed to be here, right? And this is like last time this happened where like Ray just didn't show up because he's probably asleep. Less likely he's dead. Most likely probably fell asleep. Um, but last time this happened, Pulse wasn't here either. So like, why can't this happen when one of them is here? That's fine if one of them's here. Yeah, it does seem odd they aren't here. I'm not into it. I wish they were here, and I also wish where I knew where they were. I've called them both. Neither are here. The first 17 minutes of the show have been me trying to figure out where they are. So nothing good. You haven't missed anything. No one's missed anything. I do apologize for it all being shitty right now. You want to come on the show, Two Joints? I can send you the link. You into that? I need someone to talk to. I have nothing right now. Let me know. I'll send you the link. I don't know where these guys are. If someone wants to talk about 307 with me or whatever the hell else. I don't know. I mean, I hope they're all right. I figure they probably are. It's just weird that neither of them told me. Paul sometimes just shows up late, but but usually he lets us know if he knows. Ray would have definitely told me. But like I'm assuming that assuming he's sleeping. Nope. I mean, hope it's not worse. I just threw a kind of a miracle lifeline toss out here. Come on, hope this guy saves me. I bet he's. Come on, save me, buddy. He hasn't even. He's seen it, but he hasn't responded. Respond, buddy. Oh, should I try Raymond again? I mean, at this point, he'll get a hold of me when he sees it. I don't think the phone call was going to wake him up. I could try one more time. Yeah, don't think this is gonna work. Calling. That's not working. Like I think he's not like me. He doesn't keep his phone off at all times. I do, where I keep my volume off at all times. Well, unless I'm expecting a call, but yeah, I usually keep it off. So I don't know. I've been calling him on Facebook. We'll try one more time here. Don't be dead. Don't be dead. Don't be dead, Ray. A riveting show so far. Me making phone calls and trying to message people. I do apologize for that. Maybe one of these days we'll start the show. My man not picking up. Well, Well, well. All right, Jones. I'm gonna send you a link, buddy. You come on whenever you want. I appreciate you. Gotta find the link. Where's the link? Guest. What is this? Hold on. Don't get excited. This is just me. I hate when this happens. Oh, wrong thing. Invite guest. Here we go. Copy. Jeez, why was that so hard? All right, buddy. I sent you the link. Okay, we're waiting for that. Still message this other guy. Yeah. I mean, hoping. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm messaging people. Again, this is maybe the worst beginning to a show we've ever had. All right, man. We're just waiting here. See if one of my co-hosts is alive, or maybe a couple people who I sent this link out to will pop on and we can talk some bullshit. Because listen, I'm not giving up. Obviously, I could have just been like, "Stupid, not doing the fucking show, stomp my feet, take off," but not doing that. I won't do that to you. I won't do that to you, to the dozen people that may click on this. I'm not going to do that to you. All right? Because gotta treat it like a job if you want it to be a job, fam. That's what they say. Not exactly what's happening, but I don't know. I have faith. Maybe one of them will show up. Um, let's see. If not, no big deal. Sorry, all good, man. It's cool if you got something going on. Got something going on. I live. All right. Oh, see if our Canadian correspondent who shows up here in a second. That'd be nice. Something. Somebody's got to say that. Who's going to be today's hero? Someone's going to be a hero today. And so far, it's not me. It's definitely not Ray or Pulse. I don't think. Um. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I apologize for the worst show ever. Just, I hope anyone watching this in the future is kind of like, you know what? I'm just gonna keep flipping through, fast forward, see if maybe he figures something out eventually. You know, maybe he stops talking to no one. There we go. All right. Looks like he's getting some food. It's all right. Let's for a second here. All right. Two Joints going to be here in a second. See, he was making a sandwich or something. I have no idea what he's doing. We'll find out. We'll ask him. We'll ask him what he's doing. Here it comes. Look, he's eating. We get on when he's eating. I'm excited. Joints, buddy. What's up, man?
Hey, Tim, brother. How's your day going so far?
Oh, fantastic, man. I don't know where Ray or Pulse are. It's like the last time this happened to me, the same thing happened. Like they both didn't show up. Like there's two of them, and you figure at least one of them would show up. Like, but no, they both like no call, no showed on me.
Wow. Yeah, it's funny. I was just flipping a few channels around. I seen you were on here by yourself, so I thought, oh, I'll pop in, make sure everything's okay. But it is pretty odd that they're not here at all. Like I hope they're all right.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I 99% chance Ray's probably sleeping.
Okay.
Any other reason he would tell me, or at least, or something. Pulse, I don't know. Pulse said he was going to be here today, but he's been late before, but he usually tells us. Although last time this happened, he didn't tell us either. It was the same thing. So I don't know. It's just, and also I'm not prepared for this, right? So I'm just like, I don't know. I could just say, guess we're not doing a show, but I'm already on. So I mean, there's maybe a dozen people that might click on this, I don't want to let those dozen people down.
Well, the show's got to go on, Tim, no matter what. Like, I mean, the fights are still going to be here on the weekend. If, Tim and Paul or Ray and Pulse aren't here, we'll make it work. So,
yeah. What's been going up in your neck of the woods, man? Up our neighbors up north, what's going up on the old Canada?
You know what? The weather's just been unseasonably super nice. Like it was 23 degrees here today. It's supposed to be 20 tomorrow. And for the first week of October, it's pretty crazy. So everything's still green and there's tons of animals still kicking around and pissing me off. So
it's been real warm here too. Yeah. 2 weeks ago, my niece had a tournament in Columbus and it was 95 all day.
Wow.
Yeah. We were there 2 months ago in July and it was 95. I'm like, why? I mean, it's never like my birthday was last week. And I'm like, it's never hot on my birthday ever. And
wow. Happy birthday, Tim. I can't remember if I was on the stream for that. So
all good, brother. Thank you. It was last Saturday.
Okay.
Made another year. At this point with my birthday, I go, well, for a while my birthday's made me sad. But now at this point, I'm like, fuck, I made another one. Fuck. No. I mean, the way I am, who knows, man? I'm just happy I made another one.
That's a good way to look at it. No matter if you're rich or poor or whatever, it's just another year accomplished. And, you look back and the older you get, Tim, it gets a little bit easier. Don't believe the hype. You know what I mean? It's not so bad. Like I'm 50. So
yeah, my body doesn't think so, but that's also the obesity. That's going to be part of it. They tell me that might be part of it. I don't know. I didn't believe them for a long time, but no, that's definitely part of it.
It doesn't matter what we look like, Tim. It's all what matters in the heart. It's the heart that matters, Tim.
Yeah, and my heart's all fucking clogged. So that's the problem. Now, dude, honestly, I don't mind being fat, like looking fat. That's not what bothers me. What bothers me is that I might die. So that's what the part that bothers me. That's, I hit like 330 and I'm like, this is not good. So I've been getting Ozempic. I've been taking semaglutide that I buy like from a separate company. And I don't think it's been working enough for me to keep paying this much for it. So,
well, Tim, I just wish you the best with all that, man. I mean, it's definitely not something that you really want to mess around with, but just finding the right treatment. I mean, but don't give up. I mean, seriously, bro.
No, I'm not going to, man. I got to talk to my doctor again, make sure I can't get my insurance to pay for it. And I mean, the shots, they said the shots work better, but the shots cost more, and I'm already spending $250 out of pocket. So that's a lot. That's a month. So that's ridiculous. So, but my thought is it's like $250 or die. So I'm like, when you put it that way, the scales aren't quite as even.
Yeah. So we might as well pick up the positivity a little bit. Tim, what are you thinking about the fights this weekend? Anything that sticks out in your mind?
Good question. Positivity, maybe not so much.
Okay.
This is, man. Have you seen a more depressing year overall from this company in the last, I don't know, decade or two? Like I haven't. Like it's. I mean, it's still been the USD. It's still been fine, but it's definitely been the biggest lull of a year I can remember. Definitely since we started this show, but even further before that.
I mean, definitely not debating it all. I mean, we do have some new champions, but I'll agree with you.
They're not exciting. The new champions aren't exciting. They're all just like, who the fuck is this guy?
That's the whole thing. And I will agree with you. There was a few fight cards that were just total duds. You know, like even the main event couldn't save it kind of thing. So, yeah, it's been up and down. But I'm not really sure what this weekend's going to bring. But hopefully it's going to be some good fights. You know what I mean? So.
There's a couple good matchups. I mean, every time Holland's on the card, it's awesome. I fucking love how Kevin Holland and him Delatz there are going to be great. I guarantee. I mean, there's no way that fight's not good. What else? I was going to say. Oh, I mean, you can just say, well, it's not their fault the fights haven't been good. It's not the UFC's fault. Well, I mean, it's not for the most part. But you see some matchups, and you're like, did you expect that to be good? Like, did you expect Edwards and Muhammad to be a firefight? Like, did you really? No, really. Yeah. You expected to get what you got. So when you look at the card, you're like, what did you expect to happen?
Well, I totally agree with you. It's like a lot of these fighters are super, super predictable. Like a lot of us already know that aren't casuals. We know exactly what kind of style they're going to bring. And sometimes they'll change it up and make us all look like fools. But you'd have to agree to, for the most part, people are pretty predictable, you know, like.
Yeah, it's great when that doesn't happen. One of my favorites is probably when Ngannou wrestle-fucked Gone. That's probably the one that my favorite. I'm just like, I still to this day can't believe that happened. And when Strickland bit Izzy, I definitely didn't think that was going to happen either. But that's a little bit different. At least he fought his style. He just did it better than I thought he would. But the women's bantamweight, I mean, that's been boring. I mean, it's not Pennington's fault, not the champ's fault that the division's been really boring and no one really cares too much about this fight. I mean, Pena's doing her best to sell it. She's good at that, but still not that excited for it. It might be a good fight. I don't know. I think I have Pennington.
Okay.
Although I don't either. Harrison's the fight that like the champions in that division are fighting, or the champs fighting in that division for the retainer title, and I don't care about her in the division. Who I care about is Harrison, and she's fighting Vera, and I. Assuming that if she wins, which I do think she will, she'll fight the winner of whomever wins that title fight, even if it is Pena.
I'm kind of glad to see Uncle Dana change things up for UFC Edmonton. It was a woman's main event for a long, long time, and he just changed it around to, I think, Brandon Moreno and somebody else is the main event now. So maybe that'll get some more interest in the fight card because – yeah, I mean, every time Dana comes to Canada, he can't be doing this to us, man. Like, I don't know what he's got against us, but
I mean, overall, I mean, if they had one in Ohio, in Cleveland or Columbus or even Pittsburgh or something, and they had a female main event, it depends who it is. I mean, if it's Harrison or somebody, you know, I'd be like, yeah, that's gonna be a good fight. That's cool, whatever. But I mean, there was one. This was an Apex card, but I know like when they're having the COVID fights in the Apex. One of them was like Calvillo and Jessica I was the main event. You're like, oh, sheesh, what are you doing to us, man? I mean, we're happy we have sports, so I guess it's better than nothing. But
yeah. Well, I think Dana's got to kind of understand like he's got to have some fight cards where there's got to be a women's main event, but maybe he could just pull it back a little bit and see if it generates more tickets or more interest. Because honestly, like I'm not being sexist. I love women, man, but every couple of fight cards, them being a main event, I'm not down with that. So,
well, just like the whole company's in a law, the women's divisions are in a law too. It's not their fault. But I'm not real excited about anything in the division. You have been used to be for a long time. I was really every time Joanna fought, Rose fought, or Nunes fought, or like Valentina. I mean, that Valentina Grasso. Okay, that's an exciting fight. Okay, that just happened though. Like.
Well, I know Shevchenko totally screwed your parlay, Tim, and I'm still pissed off about that. Like we almost had $365 that night, but no, the bitch lost.
I know, man.
It was a close decision, though. It was close.
That was no. She fucked my parlay up when I was in Vegas, and she got choked out the first time.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah. So and I knew, like, I'm like, dude, I had 5 legs already won. I think I had 2 more. I had Shevchenko. And then I had Jones, and Jones won. But and Valentina was fighting well. She's winning. She was winning, and then she throws a spinning kick, gets her back taken, and gets choked out. I'm like, you're kidding me. And my heart stuck to my stomach, dude. I'm like, come on. For sure I was going to have that one. I don't know. I'm not a great sports gambler. I think I am sometimes. But see,
Okay.
I am when when it's parlays that fuck you up. Like I just saw something recently that all the sports book make like 90%, 91% or something like that of their winnings are on parlays because people are trying to change your life with $5 parlays.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
They never fucking hit. Yeah.
It's that gambler's mentality. And like, I mean, shout out to Mystic Moss and the MMA holes, but he had the guy on for my bookie probably about 7 or 8 months ago, Tim. And this guy was just trying to tell Moss and all of us parlays are the longest risk. Don't do them. And of course we all get sucked in, but
yeah,
once in a while they hit, and it's kind of cool to tell people, oh, I picked 5 fights in a row and I got a couple $100. Like that's pretty cool, water cooler talk, right? So
right. But I mean, the how many times do they hit? I mean, I've never hit a big one. I thought I was going to hit one on baseball the other day, but the Guardians lost, fucked that up. I thought I had it.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it happens. But I got some bonus bets from Bet365, and I decided to not try to change my life. I decided to see if I could just make some actual money off my free $200 bets, and I won $160 on them. So that's good.
Oh, nice.
That's good. Yeah, I bet on 3 baseball games, and yeah, just straight up. I'm like, you know what, parlay, fuck you, parlay.
But like you just said, like all these companies, they make 90% off of parlays, and that was a perfect example. They gave you some money to play with, and you only won so much of it back. So where does that other $90 just goes magically in the air, right? I don't like gambling sites. I like horse racing, but I would rather just go to the OTB, like not bet online kind of thing. So.
Yeah, I mean the closest sports book to me is in Cleveland, and that's an hour and a half. So I don't.
Okay.
So yeah, we don't have the normal. We don't have like kiosks and shit yet, or like local places that take bets. They just do it in the casinos and online. But so I just do it online. But I don't do that much. I haven't done it in a while. I just did Bet365 because it was like $10, and then you get 200 in free bets. So I did that, and I won more than I put in, so by a lot. Cool. So yeah, I don't know. I'm happy with it. I was gonna save some for this weekend, but I'm like, I don't. Who am I gonna pick? Who am I gonna pick? Pereira straight up. He's a minus 500. Like I'm not doing that. I don't think Roundtree is gonna win. He's a big underdog, but I don't think he's gonna win.
Yeah, I mean, there's some fighters you really do give that puncher's chance to, but there's no way with Pereira's kickboxing background and all these guys that he's fighting before Roundtree are just champions or ex-champions. So I think Khalil's going to be in for a long night, maybe a short one.
I expected to look like when Hill fought Pereira. So I think it's going to look like that, like not that great. Although, I mean, if Roundtree gets one in, I mean, I don't know if he will. I think that guy is so much better than Roundtree that I'm not sure he even gets one in. I don't know. It could be wrong.
Yeah,
but I mean, he has the power if he gets one in. I don't know if he can.
Is it for a belt, Tim, or what's the deal on that?
What? Yeah, it's for the light heavyweight title.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because Roundtree was supposed to fight Hill, and then they had to back him out because he self-reported a violation in the drug testing. He said he had a tainted supplement, so he turned himself in. All right, buddy, you look like you don't take steroids, right? I'm not saying he is, but I'm just a lot of tainted supplements under that. Like, where are they getting this shit, man? Where are they getting tainted supplements?
Well, exactly. Like if they already know letter to the T what they can and can't take,
right? Why
would they risk all the money they would lose and maybe a sponsorship or two over a stupid mistake?
Right?
Doesn't make sense.
Either taking them or you're not. I mean, I don't. You're telling me if I go to CVS and buy something over the counter, there's a good chance it has steroids in it? You're saying? I doubt that. I doubt it. I doubt there's some dude injecting shit into rice pills at the CVS warehouse. I doubt that. But what was weird is that Roundtree had to back out with a Hill fight, but then they gave him the title fight. So they let him like jump the line. Like they're grasping at straws, the UFC, to try to get something interesting. This year would be a total bust if it wasn't for Alex Pereira. So he's saved the whole year. I mean, how many times has he fought? I don't know. A bunch. I don't know. He fought 300. When else did he fight? Yeah, but they just. I don't know. I don't think Roundtree has a chance to beat Roundtree. I don't even know if I'm going to buy it. To be honest. I'm going to the Guardians playoff game on Saturday, so I don't know.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for it.
What was the price on the tickets? It must have been probably pretty heavy for the playoffs. I mean,
yeah, they're like $90.
Wow!
And that's just for That's for up top, so those are
Okay.
the cheapest ones. But it will still be a sellout, most likely. It's at 1:00 on Saturday, which is
shit, afternoon game.
Yeah, I
Wow,
know.
that's odd, eh?
I know. Well, I'm not surprised because they're playing Detroit, and like it's their nationally broadcast games, and MLB isn't going to give them primetime Saturday night when for Cleveland, Detroit. So
Oh,
I knew
feel
I knew that was coming.
Right
Last
on.
playoff game I went to 2 years ago was at noon. So
you.
yeah,
That's
it's
pretty
weird.
odd. That's a pretty odd time for people to be slamming beers and eating.
Yeah, on a
hot
Saturday
dogs.
especially. I mean, 1:00 games happen on Sundays. That's fine. Or like maybe a getaway day on like a Wednesday that happens. But Saturday, it never happens on Saturday.
That's
except,
crazy.
Except playoff time. So
Okay.
it is what it is. Detroit snuck past Pulse's Astros, but Detroit's been hot. They've since August 11th, they've gone like 31-13. They were 6
Holy
games down,
fuck.
and all of a sudden went 31-13 and made the playoffs, and then swept the Astros in Houston.
Well, if you're gonna, that's the best time of year to be on a roll is just before the playoffs.
I know,
if you
right?
know what I mean.
That's why, like, we played pretty decent Cleveland against Detroit this year, but they're hot. They're real hot, and they have the best pitcher in baseball, best starting pitcher in baseball, and
Okay.
Scooble. He'll probably pitch Saturday, so I'm not super looking forward to it because they're good. They are good, but so are we. We'll be fine. Probably have a heart attack at the game, so if you hear that news, fan dies at Progressive Field. That's me from just being so freaked out that my heart stops.
This show will really be screwed, Tim, if something happens to you. And Tuesdays and Thursdays, people tune in, and there's nobody in that.
Nobody,
chair.
just empty chairs. It's an empty chair.
Shit.
If anything did happen to me, that's what I want those guys to do. I want those guys to just put my empty chair on live stream for 3 hours. I just want to just that's it.
It's payback for all those times they let you down, Tim.
Right.
So now you're going to get the last laugh.
Right. And I wanted to play
mean?
Taps for 3 hours.
Oh, shit.
Or some Creed.
So hockey season's kind of almost there. Another, I think, week, and the regular season starts.
Yeah, I think I saw maybe, I don't know if it's this week or next week, but I saw ESPN upcoming game Columbus and Pittsburgh.
Okay.
I don't know if that's regular season or not.
Well, Ray will be happy because that's his dream team. That's
a bit. He doesn't pay that much attention, and I don't really pay attention really at all to hockey too much. I've gone to a Blue Jackets game. I want the Blue Jackets to win. If they're in the playoffs, I'll pay attention. But I'm not a big hockey fan. But I'm not against it by any means. But I always wanted to go to Ohio State Michigan hockey game. I think that'd be fun too because those those are real
college
fun.
hockey games are totally amazing. Like how many people they fit in those arenas, and they're all just 19 to 28 years old, and they're all stoned or they're drunk, and they want, it's a good time to go to one of those, I would imagine. So
yeah, college games in general are pretty fun. I took my niece to a couple women's college basketball games at Kent State, and mainly because it's like they're cheap and you get in the first row, and there's like 200 people there. But they're fun. They're good games. Like they can play. They're fun. We went to two of them. They're fun.
Well, you get to spend a little time with the niece, and she probably learns a little lesson when she's there. Like this is what happens when you grow up, and you get some good marks, and maybe you get a scholarship, and you can be anything you want to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely try to tell her that all the time. I'm sure she knows that. I picked her up from school today, but then I found out I'm just picking up her and her friend and taking her to her friend's house. So they both get in the back seat. It's too cool to sit by me when her friends. So I feel like an Uber driver. I mean, where we're going.
Nice.
I just dropped them off and went home.
You should have leaned back and said, "Where would you like to go, Miss?"
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. Miss Daisy back there.
That's hilarious.
Johnny says Paul's working on his cough his business. I don't know where Paul is. I don't know where Paul is, Johnny. I don't know where Ray is.
Well, shout out to Johnny Smith. He's a regular attendee here once in a while. He's a good friend of mine. He's a good friend.
Johnny's the man. There's like 3 or 4 people that are usually always here, and I love all of you. Even the ones I hate, I love. I don't hate anybody. I do hate not knowing where these guys are, though. I messaged Thomas, see if he could come on, but I think he's doing something. Little Thomas. Remember Thomas?
Oh yeah. We had some good laughs with him.
Yeah, man, he's a great guy. That lamp. I know.
Made it into the comedy bit.
Yeah, he's doing his own like little like weekly radio show here, and Ray and I have been on it a few times.
Oh
but
wow.
it's just been good to see him.
Okay.
But yeah, I think he's doing something around CB here.
That's crazy.
I feel like I need to have like 45 different co-hosts on just backups. I mean, I don't know if I've ever, man, just not shown up. Maybe I've like little overslept on a nap or something. It came in like a half an hour early, but late. I mean, but like I don't think I've ever not shown up on them. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe I have. I'm pretty sure I told him though. There's been times I'm told Ray, I'm like, I don't feel it, man. I can't do it. I'm not doing it today. And that's fine. But again, he's most likely asleep. Pulse, I really have no idea. No idea.
Well, maybe he's stuck at work or something like that because he's super spontaneous. Like he'll do the boxing show or a wrestling show on a Sunday or a Saturday, and have Jay Smoothie and some of his other buddies show up. So yeah,
I don't know what he's. I mean, I know he left his job recently. I don't know if he got another one or not. But that guy always has some kind of side hustle. I don't ask too many questions. I don't know what he's got going on, but I'm like, you do you, fam. Okay. But I just always all right. I've been calling them both, and neither of them picked up. So
unbelievable.
Yeah,
it's too bad you guys live all so far away. Like it'd be cool to do like an actual live show, live Brobo Plata with everybody in one spot, sitting in a bar or at Vegas or something. Or
yeah, that would be cool. We'd even do it with Thomas, and Thomas lives in Cleveland. But like,
oh shit,
I only ever met him in person one time when we went to a Guardians game. But it was 2 years ago. But yeah, it would be cool. Pulse lives in Houston. I have family in Houston. I'm working for my uncle who lives in Houston, so I might end up down there at some point. And if I do, I would definitely get a hit Pulse up. But
nice. I'm just gonna put my dinner away. It's Rue Dito on there, Tim.
No, you're good, brother. You're fine.
No, I'll warm it up later, dude. It's not a big deal.
I mean, I just appreciate you helping me out, man. Gotta say at the show, Johnny, yes, Pulse is a mystery, brother.
Okay, well,
Pulse has family everywhere, I'm guessing. What does that mean? What is it? He's not the Sean Kemp of MMA podcasts. It's like these illegitimate little pulses running all around. Maybe. I doubt it.
All right. Okay. So they've passed all the weed laws and stuff there now, Tim. Like, can you guys just go to a store and you can do what you got to do?
Yes.
Congratulations, man. That's awesome.
I went one time just to see, and it was wild. Like you have to go in before you do anything. You have to give them an ID, and they have to make an account on you and stuff, and then they have to escort you back. It's the whole thing. It's weird, but
absolutely.
But it's fine. And I bought something and left and haven't been back only because it's not really my thing, really. A little bit sometimes, but that's about it. But it is nice. Also, I not talked about it here before, but people in my town are real pissed about it, which it makes me laugh. They're real pissed that there's a store here.
Ugh. Because
I didn't know this until very recently, but my town, the actual city limits aren't all governed by the city. There's a part of it is governed by a township, and I didn't know that. So actually, I'm like, so I knew that my town banned recreational sales in the town. They's like, we don't want this in our city. Blah blah blah. Their whole thing is we have a homeless shelter here, and that's a bad element. We don't want the homeless people to be to have that element that close to them. That's what they said.
Oh wow.
However, the homeless shelter is by like 3 bars.
Yeah, of course. And how many liquor stores are in between there? There's probably a couple of
there's one. So like, yeah, it didn't make any sense.
Wow.
They need to give up times a bit, but it's not happening. Not yet. But there's still one in my town because the property they're on is like, I guess, like 1 foot onto the township, the Goshen Township side, and I didn't know that. And then I'm like, why can it be there? And they're like, okay, they're not happy about it, but they can do their own shit. And there's like 3 people that are the government of Goshen Township, and they're like, yeah, fine, we don't care.
Nice.
So yeah, well, so it's in the town without the city government wanting it there, and that makes me laugh because it makes me laugh that that it's there, and they're pissed about it because actually in that same area, pretty close to where the weed shop is, for years, it's not there anymore because the internet finally got it. But there was an adult store like right in the middle of town, right, like right off the highway, and like church groups for years try to get that thing shut down, and they couldn't. How could you? I mean, they're not doing anything wrong. They hated it, and I mean, it took them a long time to stop giving up. Eventually, they gave up, and eventually, the internet got it, but it took a long time. It was there like 20 years.
Wow. You know what I mean? That's just another. It sounds like you live in a progressive place, but at the same time, what these people that don't understand is the money. There's taxes generated from these pot shops, and that money generated goes towards building roads and schools.
Right.
It doesn't sound super straight up, but that's what happens, and that's what's been happening in Canada for years. Money.
I'm wondering, are they not getting their tax cut because they said no sales in their town? I don't know how it works.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope not. I hope that if they say we don't want sales here, I hope they don't get any of it.
Well, but the whole thing is, Tim, you get one foot in the door. If that one store is there, in another 6 months, there might be 2 more. In another 6 months, there might be 3 more. Like, you never know. It just takes that one foot in the door. Yeah. But you guys have been through a lot, so.
Yeah, I mean, where I am, because I live in a rural-ish area, there probably won't be another one, even if there could be.
Okay.
Because I think that one probably does okay enough for the whole area. Like, I think one in my county is probably enough.
Sorry, I just didn't know how rural you are. Like,
that's cool.
Where I live, it's 3,500 people most of the year, and that goes up to 10,000 in the summertime. We get all the tourists and stuff. But there's 3 pot shops here, but they're all run by the government, and it's all bullshit weed, and it comes in a great big jar, and it's just dumb. So
it's weird.
Yeah, is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, when I went to the place, it was pretty neat. I mean, it was like the building's like super. They make it look like futuristic and stuff. They did put like a lot of money into it and stuff, and like it's cool.
And you walk in there, and it's like they just have it's that smell. Like you have your face in a bag full of weed. You walk in there, it's like, oh wow, it's that smell you've never smelled. You know
what's crazy? I didn't smell any when I was in there.
Oh really?
Yeah, I don't think they don't let them smoke it in there, and everything's locked up. Like, there's only like a little bit even out. You have to look on a kiosk or ask for it, and they go in the back and get it for you. Now, I didn't talk to anybody. I didn't really know what that.
Really, that kind of a setup. Like you're almost like it's like you're buying a gun or a car. Or that's really
no. It's nothing like buying a gun here. Buying a gun here is a lot easier than that.
I was just gonna say that. Is it not easier?
Buy a gun at Walmart, bro.
Oh my god, man.
Yeah, you buy a gun at a convenience store here. You go in, and then someone has to take you with a key through a door, and then there's a second door. So there's like a purgatory area in between the 2 doors. So they have to lock the first door before they unlock the second door and let you in. And then you basically just get on a computer kiosk and pick what you want, and then they bring it out for you. Now, if I had questions, I'm sure people would help me out, but I didn't know what I just saw some gummies. I'm like, there was like 2 for like $8. I'm like, that will work. That's fine for me. That's my speed. And that was it. But also I can order it online. So I think if I do it again, I'll just order it online and pick it up.
Yeah. But like you said, Tim, it's not for everybody. I mean, it's nice to try it out. And if it's the kind of the shoe that fits, well, then you keep wearing the shoes. Yeah, but if it's not, it's better just to stay away from it. Like, you know what?
I mean, the thing is, I don't need another expensive habit, I don't like, I understand a lot of people, alcohol fucked up their lives, can't do it. I know you have your issues with it, and I hope you're doing all right.
I'm well over 11 years. I just haven't had a drink, and it doesn't bother me at all. I did my. It's like this happens to a lot of people, Tim. You do your time with something, and I've had enough, and it wasn't I didn't go to rehab for 6 months, or I didn't go to AA. I just decided to stop.
Like one day, just not for me anymore. I got you.
Yeah.
But like it is my thing. I like it, and the thing is, I've gotten to the point where I don't go on benders. I don't even get super hammered. I don't like to be super hammered. That's one of the reasons why I don't weed that much, because even as a lightweight, I take any and I'm like completely, and it never helps my cognitive ability. I'm all the people that I'm always dumber on it, so I don't like that either. So alcohol, I like it because I can control it more, you know. So I like and I know it's not good for me. I know.
Well,
it totally makes sense. A lot less than I used to. I drink on the podcast and usually like one day on the weekend, and sometimes I don't even do that. So I don't think it's that bad. Host made me quit drinking. That's a good reason, Johnny.
Yeah, that's great. Well, the whole thing is you gotta. It doesn't matter what you're doing, if you're drinking or you're smoking weed or taking gummies. You got to know your limit, because there's only that one experience that'll make you really sick, and it's just a waste of a night. You know, I've done it before, and it's not fun.
Right. Right. Yeah. I mean, I haven't puked from drinking too much in like, I don't know, 15 years, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Maybe not quite that long. Yeah, I think it's been a long time. Birdo, what's up, buddy? Ever since weed became legal, I stopped smoking. It's lost its appeal. If I'm allowed to do it, I'm fucking stupid. No. Give me some mushrooms or some shit. Give me some meth.
Oh, buddy, there's a place. Tim, I can literally go for a drive and get 20 different kinds of weed, but it's on a native reserve, the dispensary, and you don't have to be native to go on there. But what they have is chocolate bars with only so many grams of mushrooms in it. Like I buy this 3-gram chocolate bar, and it's all portioned up. So when you take a piece, you know exactly what you're taking. And bro, I'm a professional and it floors me, but it's too much fun. I could see myself getting hooked on it, and I'd rather just smoke weed all day. So
I've never been on a reserve. I know they have like their own laws and shit. They can do all kinds of different shit over there. They have different prices for shit, and it's all different because they run their own shit basically.
Absolutely, yep.
And that's like that in the residents here. I'm sure in the Canadian ones are even more freedom for them. I'm assuming. I don't know. But I've never been on one. We don't have the Native American. Well, they have even close to me. They're everywhere, but most of the big communities were in the other side of the state. But Birdo, what's up, buddy? Birdo, what do you think about your Dodgers? Are they going to beat the Padres? Huh? How many games? How many games are the LA Dodgers going to beat the San Diego Padres in this NLDS?
Is that Roberto in the chat?
Yes, that's Hearns.
Shout out to my amigo Roberto, man. OG of the MMA holes, and a good friend of mine too, like a personal good friend.
Hearns is the man. Hearns is the man. He's been a sweetheart to us for no reason other than he's awesome. He sent us to a ball game last year. Ray and I saw the Dodgers play the Guardians, and I sat next to Terry Francona's daughter.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I didn't even know until later. I saw her waving at him, and she has 2 small kids, and I thought maybe, I'm like, is that his daughter? I didn't know till after I looked it up, and I'm like, fuck yeah. And I wonder why we kept being on the jumbotron, because she was sitting on my left, and I'm like, why am I? I'm like, who are you? I'm so serious. Yeah.
You know, it'd be so cool if you could go back and try and find one of the sports channels, and if they could catch you on the jumbotron, like that would be something you wouldn't forget, Tim.
I'm sure that I was on our network, Bally Sports. I'm sure that I was on it at least once. I have a clip somewhere of last year. I went to Baltimore. I was visiting family in Pennsylvania. On the way back, I noticed that the Guardians were in Baltimore. I'm like, I could fucking make that. So I went down and saw a game, and I was on. So I had a guard shirt on, and there's at least one time where I had a close up. So I was watching the replay. I was watching some of the replay in my hotel room, and I start laughing uncontrollably because I had a close up, and I'm like, start sending it to people. I'm like, check this.
That's awesome. Do you remember that one episode of Seinfeld where George is at the Yankees game, and he's in the stands, and he's eating this hot fudge sundae, and they zoom up on him close. He ended up on the jumbotron, same kind of thing, but it's kind of funny. That's
my uncle when my cousin was younger. He's 17 now, but when he was younger, he took him to a couple NCAA wrestling championships.
Oh, cool.
And he had some money, so he got like insane seats. So like in the first row, but there was a clip of him on ESPN just like shoving a hot dog and popcorn in his mouth at the same time. And there's another one of him like going with like his hand like that, not on purpose, but it looks like he's sucking a dick because his mouth's open and his fist is like this.
Oh, no way.
But yeah, he's getting great shots on ESPN.
Okay, we're just going to come outside for a minute. If it doesn't work, I'll just have to go back in. So
no, you're fine, brother. Birdo, Dodgers in 5. All right. I don't know what to think about my guards. I think we're going to win. I don't know how many games. I just hope it happens.
Awesome.
And then Johnny, you got the Royals. The Yankees got the Royals, and I would very much wouldn't mind seeing Yankees guards. It's going to be tough though, but
okay.
But I take it.
So the Blue Jays are just shit. They let me down big time this year. I only really watched a good chunk of some highlights through halfway through the season, and I just got this feeling like they were just trash. I don't know what their problem was, or I don't know.
I was trying to figure out recently like which teams I've seen play live anywhere, and I think there's like 5 I haven't, and one of them is Toronto. Toronto's the only American League team I don't think I saw live, unless I saw them when I was a kid and I don't remember. But
okay.
But yeah, for whatever reason, I just never saw him play Toronto. At least I don't think
They'll never recreate those back-to-backs, man. 93 and 94. Like they just had those just the right mix. You know what I mean? And that's pretty rare winning the back-to-back in the MLB. Like, I mean, I'm a bit of a baseball casual, but as far as I know, it doesn't happen a whole lot. So, I mean,
no. And you think it would happen more because they have the softest salary cap. So you think it would happen more, but it doesn't. Right. I mean, that's just how fucking hard baseball is and how anything could happen at any time. That's once you get to the playoffs, it's a crapshoot. Like Arizona barely got into the playoffs last year and they made it to the World Series. Like it is what it is. So your pitching's on. I mean, I like the Guards bullpen, so that's good setup, good for October. But who knows, man? Johnny says doesn't happen a lot unless you're a Yankee fan. Well, how long has that been? It's been a long time, Johnny. Been a long time. Berto said 93, 94 Toronto. They had Roberto Alomar. Yeah. Hall of Famer Roberto Alomar. Sandy Alomar Jr. is still the first base coach for the Guardians.
Joe Carter, Devon White.
Pat Borders,
yeah. Kelly Gruber.
Yeah. Yeah, those are good teams. And then
I think Nolan Ryan played with Toronto towards the end of his career. I'm thinking maybe he did.
Well, they didn't win in 94 because nobody won in 94. There wasn't a World Series in 94.
Oh, really? Well, maybe 92. Well, they won back-to-back around.
Yeah, it must have been 92. Because, 94 was the strike year. So they actually didn't finish the season. Johnny, 27 rings beach. Johnny, how many of those rings have you been alive for?
Yeah, how old is Johnny? I'll bet you Johnny's 42. I'm gonna guess.
I think he's in his 50s. It's like we have a lot of guys in their like early 50s. Like that seems like somehow like our demographic.
Wow.
53. See? Yeah, he's 53.
53. Holy smokes, he's older than me.
Yeah, and like John 209 is about the same age too. I think D-Rest is 108, but it's a little further. But Berto's 38. Okay, I'm 37. It's
nice. You guys are just spring chickens, man. Once you hit 50, you'll look back to these streams and go, "Wow, 2 joints was right."
I'm trying not to say that I'm old. I'm definitely old as I've ever been, right? And I definitely feel older than I did, 6-7 years ago. When I hit 30 is when it all kind of. I'm like, dude, it's just like the day I hit 30, everything started to hurt. But I'm aware that hopefully if I get my health in check, that 37 isn't old. So not really old, right? And I keep saying, I mean, like at this age, okay, let me start it like this. For a long time, at least in this country, at 37, you're supposed to be on like the track. You're supposed to have your shit together completely and be on the track you're going to be on until you're 60 and retire. You're supposed to be married. You're supposed to have kids. You're supposed to have a house. That's at 37. You're supposed to have it down, right? For a long time. And it's not the same anymore, economically or socially or any of that. It's not the same anymore.
Yeah.
But even at 37, I'm like, dude, I can't try new shit. I can't learn new things. I'm fucking 37, too old to do any of that shit. And I keep telling myself, don't fucking think like that. Thomas from the show is great. He's been doing new shit. And he tells me all the time, he's 10 years older than me. He's like, dude, don't stop. I'm like, I know. And my other friend, who's maybe 52, he's a comedian and he's an actor and a voice actor and a writer. And he's like, dude, don't act like because you haven't done anything yet that you can't do anything yet.
Yeah. Oh, exactly, Tim. And don't believe the hype. Like, I mean, you believe what you believe. And just because somebody says, oh, if you don't have your shit together by 37, you're worthless. That's just a bunch of crap, man.
Well, that's also like I live in an area where that's, people are like that. You get a job, you stick with it until you're 60, 70, until you can retire. And then you work 9 to 5, you go home, you watch TV, you drink a couple of beers, you go to bed, you do it all over again. And I don't want to do that.
And those, of course, are perfect people that have no tragedy, no financial struggles, no cheating wives, no dogs.
That's the thing. I'm like, on paper, they look great. They look great on paper.
Yeah.
Like, I look terrible on paper, but I think I'm doing all right. Like, my friend says that to me all the time. He's like, on paper, you look terrible, but it's like, you look like a piece of shit on paper, but you're not a piece of shit. I'm like, well, thank you. Because I know that's why I don't want to run into people I haven't seen in a while. And they're like, what have you been up to? I'm like, it doesn't matter. It's not important. I'm here.
Just be honest. Just say, look, I'm on a channel on YouTube, and they never show up. It's just me, and I got to get other people from the
Right.
community to jump in and save the show. And
Right.
this is my life.
Strangers to save me. Canadian strangers to save me.
Oh, you bet.
I'll take it though. I appreciate you.
It's kind of cold
Give me a
right
second
now.
opportunity. See, that's the thing. Also, you're not old either, Berto. 38. You know, that's not. You pretend like I don't know. Like if I told someone I was going back to school at 38, they'd be like, "You're fucking old, bro. You're going back to school now." I mean, would you say I was too old at 28? Because who knows if I'm going to live that extra 10 years or not? I don't know. But like,
Yeah, but who cares that you're 38? What if that course only takes you 12 months or 14 months? You're not even 40.
I was just saying.
Let's just say if you did though, like you went and you got the course and you're not even 40, and sure you're starting out a little bit later, but at least you've got that degree and you got a job, and you know it's a start. You know,
Berto says he was a mess. Well, Berto, I don't know what it was, brother, but I'm happy that you got out of your funk, bro. I hope you got out of that hole when you're fucking crushing it now, dude. I'm happy for you, really am. But the thing is, I say this, like if I found some sort of grant or something and I could go to school for free, I'd probably go. If someone's like, yeah, well, you want to go back to school, you get paid for it. I'm like, I would go, but because it's free, but I'm not paying for it because I don't really want to go, but I would go if it was free.
you know, it sounds really odd, Tim. Like there's only so many things I can actually do right now because of kind of what I've got, but I would love to work for a place like Amazon or something like that. Just picking materials all day, just being in a warehouse and you get a list, and to ship out this amount of orders, you've got to go find this and find that. It's like a little treasure hunt. You know,
yeah, I mean, it's walking constantly, apparently. And there's people walk, I think they work like 20 miles a day or some shit. It's crazy.
Oh, fuck. I don't need to lose any more weight, Tim. Like, I'm skinny. Nothing to brag about, but I mean, I'd love to work in a big warehouse like that, you know, free flowing and keeping busy. And
I think one job I could handle, and like people look down upon it, but like, I could be like a night janitor, dude, and just like fucking by myself, just like mopping on my own pace. I can handle that. That doesn't seem bad. Like no one's bothering you. Just fucking when you're done, you're done. It's fucking
okay. That's a great idea, but what kind of a place would you be cleaning up, Tim? Would it be a school? Would it be a lawyer's office? Would it be a doctor's office? Like you don't want to be cleaning up in school.
Good
because
point.
Those kids don't give a fuck. They're gonna piss and shit all over the walls and the bathrooms, and they're gonna fart and bring their cold, and you'll get sick within the first month.
Yeah, maybe not a school. I think I want to clean like the 1 off hour at a brothel. Like that'd be me. And I'd go in a hazmat suit.
Wow.
Right. With all my hardcore OxyClean cleaners, right, and delouse the whole place so they can open up and make it gross again.
It's a bit of an aggressive take. I was thinking more of something along the lines of like maybe like a music store, something low impact. You know, the clientele isn't filthy.
Do they have music stores anymore? I think this is real close.
Yeah, that's right.
We know how many guitar centers are left. Johnny says keep Tim away from schools. Hey, listen, I'm legally allowed to be by schools. All right, I haven't done anything that creepy. All right, I don't plan on it. A lot of things that pervert's not one of them. Believe it or not, I know I look like it. I know I look like a pervert. I'm well aware.
No, you don't. No, you don't, Tim. Don't be a crazy fucker. Well, this is great. I'm glad. Great, my laptop works out here. I can come out and smoke a joint if I have to again.
There you go. I don't say the sun's still out. Oh, that's right. You're on the west. You're in the west part of.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Can you see my little hut?
Oh yeah. There you
Can
go.
You see what's going out the top? Like, how do I describe that? Can you kind of see like
I can't see. I just see I see like a little.
See something going wild in the middle of that structure?
I don't see like a shadow.
Oh, it's a big shadow, baby.
Yeah, my brother has a couple plants in his garden.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, his friend put them there. They're not doing great. His friend's plants are doing better. My neighbors, my neighbors with the fucking chickens that go around my yard and rip shit up and shit everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
They found a way to keep their chickens out of their garden, not out of our yard, but out of their garden because they're growing weed too. So every time I walk outside, I smell it. I have my window open today, and I could smell it in the morning.
Boy, if you can smell it, even if they're just like a couple of 1,000 feet away, that means some good things for those people, you know. And it's just a plant. That's all it is.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think they have about 5 or 6 of them. No, I'll take that back. No, they have less than that because they're only allowed to have 4, I think. So
okay.
I think they're not doing anything illegal. I know that. So it's just it's wacky, you know, because like I grew up in this town, and you know when I went to school, the thought of if you heard about someone's growing weed, you'd be like, criminals, low life monsters. Right?
Yeah.
I
What
said
an
the same
exciting
thing-
town. Exciting town you live in. You don't get no porn, you don't get no weed. Well, I mean, you do now, but in the day it was pretty boring there, Tim. Like, holy shit.
Here, well, we did have a porn store, and like when I was growing up, and it was like a rite of passage when you turned 18, you'd like go in the porn store for a first time with your other 18-year-old friends. You just walk around and be like, "What the fuck?"
Wow.
The first time you see anything like that, you're like, "What the hell?" And this is before. I mean, we had the internet, but I had dial-up internet, you know. So like a lot of that stuff I saw in there, I didn't really know it even existed at the time. You know, like kids now will know that shit existed because of the internet, but I didn't know some of that wacky ass shit existed. No idea.
Oh, it's
When
funny
I learned that.
because in BC you had to be 19 to go into the porn section at the video place, and I'm sure as shit I went in there a little bit after I was 19, but you had to go like behind this curtain, and then it was another door. It was kind of like the weed situation where you live, but it was just
they have
you
like
just looked
bead
at them,
curtains.
it was just a fucking walls of fucking porn, like, and just shelves of porn, and even on the ground there was porn displays. Like, it was like I felt dirty when I walked out of there. I mean, of course, I had a big fucking heart on. Well, what, you know, I'm stoned and I'm 19, but wow.
Yeah, I don't think the movie stores here when I was old enough, I don't think they didn't have porn. They didn't have porn because it was just like it was like the chains, like a Blockbuster and a couple other ones. But like, yeah, they didn't have section. I mean, I remember seeing them when I was younger, but yeah, when I was old enough, like there was nothing around here that had those.
Now, transporting that stuff around, they probably treated that just like hardcore drugs. You get caught with coke, or you get caught with pornography, same charge, motherfucker. Clink. Guilty before you even get to court.
I have no idea. Oh, as a minor, I have no idea. I had no idea.
Well, no, just means I'm not saying your town's redneck, but like, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just Canadian, and I just view a lot of these different parts of the state to be just fascinating because about the weed laws and about just different things. So I'm not going to get political, but I'm just glad I live here, Tim.
No, I get it. I get it, man. I keep talking like half jokingly, half not about running for city council next year. My ward seat is going to be up, and I want to run.
All the best of luck to you. Are you going to be on like these billboards on the side of the highways? And you're
no, I don't have money for that. If I had money for that, I would, but I don't have money for that.
What about hateful advertisements against your competition? Like, you find out something really filthy and bad about Mrs. Smith that's trying to knock you out of the race. You could find out she's like a whore, or she does Xannies and she drinks fucking white wine all day. You can do it.
I'm not going to do that, but what I am going to do, and would be like 90% of the reason I would run, is because I want to make the most hilarious campaign ads of all time. Like, I want to make ridiculous one, like me in a 4-wheeler with my shirt off, shooting guns and a cowboy hat, like that kind of shit.
Are you trying to explain to me, a semi-educated man, you're going to turn this into Spinal Tap election version?
Kinda, yeah. I mean, you ever see those Joe Exotic commercial ads that he made when he ran for governor of Oklahoma?
I fucking hate that guy. He's a fucking weirdo. Even when he was alive, even before he killed people, I never liked that fucking weirdo. Sorry, man.
No, he's weird. But those ads were hilarious, and I want to make this the most ridiculous campaign ads. I want all my comic friends to help me write them and make them. And I just, even if I don't win, I want to have the best campaign ads in the history of local elections for sure. That's what I really want. I want that more. Now, if I win, I can do that job. I can do city council. I can definitely. I know city council members here. I can definitely fucking do that job.
And like, you know what? If they're funny enough, Tim, who cares if you don't get into politics? It's a shit life, but you could be funny enough to get into the hardcore mainstream of comedy. You could make a late.
Who knows? Who knows? But definitely. They last person that won that seat that I might run for ran unopposed, and then he resigned because of not for anything crazy. It just he got busy with his day job. It's city council, right? So, but they appointed somebody, and he's a Republican, and so was the other guy. So I wouldn't run as a Republican, although I am a registered Republican, believe it or not. But
oh wow,
yeah, I know I just haven't changed it. Like I was a Republican when I was young. I thought I was, so I made my own decisions. Anyway, I'm still not. I'm more of an independent, but I'd probably run as an independent. But if I didn't run as a Republican, they would make sure, even if that guy didn't want to run for re-election, they'd make sure I wasn't unopposed. So I would have to run against somebody.
Wow. And then what would be the worst thing that could happen to him? Like, okay, you don't win, but maybe you could get a job somewhere in one of these voting things are still supporting the actual winner of all this, and you could still and you get paid. I think, don't you get paid for doing stuff like that?
Yeah, it's like a part-time job. You don't, but they meet like twice a month or some shit. Like it's not like a giant commitment.
Twice a month, Tim. Come on, man. If you can show up here a couple of times a month, come on, go make a few bucks.
It might be more than that, but anyway, but it's not a lot. It's less than once a week, I think. So
Okay.
yeah, but I could definitely knock that out. That's the thing. I'm gonna run, hopefully, maybe. And even if I win, not a big deal. But I want to do it because, well, number one, I wouldn't mind doing the job, and I care about my town a bit.
Well,
and,
Tim,
there's some things going on that I don't like. So
you've explained to me a few times. It's kind of a rural situation there. You know, rural. I can't imagine there's many major things that come up. Like maybe the cows are shitting over in this pasture that they shouldn't be. Like, you know, maybe the
not quite that bad, but yeah,
the tractors have been driving too fast. You know,
no, I mean the biggest thing they did recently was ban weed sales. That's like the biggest thing that I know about. They did recently.
Well, you guys, that just must be a perfect place to live if there's nothing else to be complaining about aside from from one weed store.
Right.
That's like
I live in the kind of place where you're a little worried about the police, just even if you're not doing anything wrong. Only, I mean, not saying they're not good. There's not good people and they wouldn't help you out, but they get bored. That's what I'm saying. Like you know, when I lived in like city, a bigger city, they didn't bother you because they had other shit to do. Like so.
If I had a genie right now, I'd rub her sweet ass and I would use one of my wishes, and your town would instantly get a bunch of hookers and a strip bar. Let's play games with the town council. Who cares what side of the state line you're on? Let's party. You know, life's too short.
That'd be hilarious if you just wanted to be like something on the show that I just read the minutes from the meetings.
Yeah.
And the meetings, I mean, like pitching ridiculous shit.
Well, you got a zoning application for a multi-level strip bar, you know, fantasy, hot tub, oil wrestling, you know, it's just on the docket.
Councilman Danko. How about like an adult style, like Chuck E. Cheese, but it's a strip club.
Yes. The girls are large breasted and they have the red chili flakes between their tits.
Sure.
And if you want some, they get right down there and they get it on there.
Tell me when. Tell me when. Yeah.
You see, where's Tim and Ray, or where's Ray and Pulse? They're missing out on this shit.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Well, I think they're dead. That's it. R.I.P. those guys. I miss you guys. I mean, I'm assuming Ray's asleep, but I feel like at this point, and Pulse, I have no idea. He usually lets me know what's happening. So,
well, Tim, if this is a hard out, them getting a show without you and not letting you know previously, I think that's kind of rude. Like if they're on Rumble right now.
No, Ray would do that to me. Pulse wouldn't. I just see Ray just being. Yeah, Ray has his own. Ray's wearing a suit and fucking splitting crazy conspiracy theories.
And they got this brand new fancy logo and they've got merchandise. Like they've been planning this for 6 months, Tim. Like, didn't you see the signs now that they've sold you out big time, man?
I guess so, man. Yeah. Anyway, where are they, man? Are they on Truth Social? Is that what they're doing? They're on. And
how the fuck did you guys get to 400 subscribers? I seen that and I thought it was on drugs. Like I always am, but I was shocked. Like I don't know what happened.
Like it. Now we think it's fake, but it hasn't gone away yet. Like it went from 200 to 400 in like a day, and so I don't know what happened. Now, what's not impossible is that we got whatever reason we got a really good algorithm day, and a lot of people clicked on it, a blot, and out of those people, we got 200 people to be like, "Yeah, this is MMA. Fuck, I'll subscribe." But
that's the one
I
thing
think most likely it's either bots or a glitch.
Well, if it isn't, I mean, I'm sure there's an amount of time that passes, and if it still stays there, I thought to myself, maybe you guys got raided and just people just, okay, let's be nice and click clack. It's not charity. It's called a raid. Some people,
I'm gonna say, first we thought we're like, who bought us subscribers? Who like gifted us? I'm like, we sure didn't. We wouldn't stoop that low, and we don't have the money, so we wouldn't do that. But I'm like, yeah, what the hell? Yeah, we still have them, but also. Ray had a good point. 404 is however many we have. 404 is also like an air message. You've seen like the number 404
okay,
air.
That's pretty clever. Ray's a bit of a comedian. He's got some witty zingers. Like,
it could mean that I don't know. I haven't looked up what happens if your subscribers are stuck on 404. Does that mean something? Is that mean
Jim, I'm so embarrassed. I have to say this live on the air. I didn't have any internet for 2 days. So I finally decided to call the landlord and say, hey, bro, I don't have any internet. So I was on hold for an hour and a half with the cable company, and the lady said, okay, I'm going to turn your modem on and off for you, and this is going to fix everything. And I was like, couldn't I have done that on my own? She goes, yeah, it's not a big deal. But she goes, you're probably not a techie person, aren't you? And I said, no, I had no idea that all I had to do was unplug my modem and plug it back in if I was jammed up.
That's usually the first thing you do.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Lesson learned, right? You know,
Yeah, but the thing is, after that, I have nothing. After plug it in, plug it back in, I have nothing. So,
well, that's the whole thing. I mean, these settings and stuff like that, like I just like to turn it on and use it and let things be as they may. So,
man.
But yeah.
Freedom Guy says you probably went viral over in Asia or something. Congrats, bro. Hope it sticks.
Oh, wow.
I'll take it. Like we said that all the time. If we were like randomly popular in a random ass country, we'd probably just move there.
Well, I'm not being a weirdo, but it's such a major true fact, Tim. Like if you've got blonde hair and blue eyes and you're from North America and you go over there, the girls fucking melt in your hands, bro. There's just something about that mix.
I hear that. I hear that they like white dudes over there. I hear that.
Blonde hair, blue eyes, konnichiwa.
Yeah, I hear that.
Yeah.
I do want to go to Japan eventually. That's definitely high on the list. After I get back to Vegas, that's the first one. I've been like annoyingly obsessed with going back there.
There's a lot of Chinese folks in Vancouver, Tim. It might be closer just to fly there for a week. Seriously.
Maybe. There's a Chinatown in Cleveland, man. I can drive up there.
Oh, really? And nothing against the folks. I mean, wow. I actually took Japanese as an elective in grade 12, like just for a extra credit kind of thing. And it was a really cool culture. Like, but of course the language, and I was a stoner already big time, so I didn't remember anything, but it was just cool.
I don't know anyone who actually remembers shit they learned from high school languages. I didn't even take one. So, although still, that's another thing about like me, like learning shit. I thought about maybe finally trying to sign up for one of these apps to try to learn Spanish, but I'm like, dude, it took me forever to learn it.
Well, can't you just cheat and get one of those Babbel apps, and then when somebody says something to you, you just kind of type it in, and then bing bang.
Well, yeah, I mean Google Translate is pretty good, but
fucking Google.
Yeah, I don't know. What else you guys doing in the chat? What's up? What are you guys up to? What do you want to talk about?
Who's on the chat? Tim,
we got Freedom Guy. We had Johnny Smith and Roberto. There we go.
Yeah.
Couple Benjamin Franklin's. Lady love that too. You know, I wouldn't know, Roberto. I wouldn't know. I don't know.
Roberto's your guy. If you ever go to LA, go and visit. Go hook him up.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure.
He's a realist guy, man.
I haven't. I was in LA once, and I was in 19. It was fun. I was there for like a week.
Okay.
Did some cool shows.
Nice.
It was fun, but I thought about moving there for a while. I kind of had the scratch to like get me started, and I'm like, maybe I'll do. And then did COVID happen, and then what the shit. And now I have no interest in going out there.
Most people are trying to move out of California.
Yeah, I know. No, that's since this was a 19, right? That happened a lot when COVID happened. They were like, this is really restrictive, like the most restrictive place. And
okay.
And then, I mean, not just for COVID, I mean, in general, and it has like 20% income tax or some shit. I mean, the income tax is insane there for this country. That's why everyone moved to Texas. Texas has 0. So,
well, I did a little research, and this is in the last 60 years. This is one of the times that the Canadian dollar has been the lowest. It is 75 cents on the dollar right now. Like,
oh, really?
And what's happening is now, if I order something off Amazon, even in the description, it'll say you're going to have to pay this much on customs. And it was never like that for years, man. They've changed some shit up, and it's getting a little more expensive to operate online. But that's the rule for everybody. So it is what it is. But if you order something from Amazon Canada, you don't pay customs on it, obviously. So that's my scheme now. You're welcome.
Huh? I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, well, it's the total honest truth, man. Like,
you know what I just bought? I think it's coming. When's it coming? Saturday. On Amazon. I bought a safe.
What?
Yes.
Tim, why'd you buy a safe, man? You could have just dug a hole in the back of the goddamn.
No, right? Right? I mean, it was $45, and I'm like, this will work. This will work. It's always good to have one just in case anyway. And
I won't ask you what it's for, but I'm assuming it's for something that has to be in a safe. Does that make sense to you? What I'm trying to
It's-
say with the
Okay, you know what? I'm not going to tell you what it's for. But I'm going to say I'm going to say this in general.
okay.
So if you tell you something in general, and you pin it to doubt yourself, maybe or maybe not.
Oof.
If you're on federal disability and you get checked from the government for being disabled in this country, you have an asset limit, and you're only allowed to have so much, like in your savings account, and it's a very low amount. It's $2,000. If you have more than $2,000, they take all your shit.
Yeah, I feel what you're throwing down. You don't have to dox yourself. I'm just, but
No,
it makes
I'm not talking about. I'm just telling you some random facts, Stu Jones.
okay.
So if for whatever reason you made more than that one way or the other, and you had to, you had to do something with it. So that's just hypothetically, that's something. Yeah.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with what I'm doing, of course, but yeah.
Well, I'm not saying you're doing anything dodgy. Like, I mean, I'm sure
No,
there's
I'm not.
an amount you can make without having it affect your amount.
Yeah,
at the
it's
end of the month.
$1,300, and I have no idea what I'm going to be doing when I'm working. I have no idea. Maybe it won't be a problem. But the thing is, even if you save the money, you can't have. It's weird. Like even if you like save your extra money, you can't have assets over. You can't have like more than $2,000 in your savings account. That's the law. If they find that, they take your shit right away. And I understand they're strict. I understand, and it makes sense. I get it.
You know what, Tim? Whoever told you that shit, if you don't have your stuff together by 37, maybe they were completely right. Maybe we're just finished, man. Maybe we're both just done.
Maybe
Like that person was right.
hang it up. I basically feel like I have.
I was still taking care of kids when I was 37. Holy shit, man.
Yeah, kids.
Oh yeah, for 18 years.
Nice.
3 different relationships, and each woman had 3 kids. Instant stepdad, just add water.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Gotcha. Okay. I thought you meant like you had 9 of your own. I'm like, fuck, crazy.
Oh no, I never procreated, which is awesome because I walked away. No alimony payments, no nothing.
There you go. Yeah, I was raised by a stepdad. Don't talk to him anymore.
Okay.
Not on me, by the way. Definitely not on me. I have no idea I still to this day don't know why he doesn't want to be in our lives anymore. No idea.
Okay,
No idea.
so Tim, I'm sorry, like we totally went off the rails here, but like
I don't care.
the fight's coming up this weekend. Like aside from the main event,
I like being off the rails, man.
But what's
off
on
the
the
rails
other?
is this show. This
There
show
has
is
to
more
be
fun off the rails.
Yeah, well, we're going to change that today because Pulse isn't here, Ray isn't here. No matter what the reason is, the show's got to go on. But what's the fight on the undercard that brings you some kind of interest?
Hold on, let me read these
Like, who gives a shit about the main event? We could talk about that for an hour, but
yeah, yesterday 30 white supremacists were arrested with ties to the Mexican mafia and Aryan Brotherhood. What? Wait, what? Prison gangs in Los Angeles changed. Wait, hold on. Okay, so they were white supremacists, but they had ties to the Mexican mafia? They're working together, man.
I have no idea about that stuff.
They're merging. All these gangs are merging. They're working together, man. They're like the AT&T, Time Warner AT&T of gangs. Let's take a look. Let's see. Right off the bat. Buckley Thompson. It's the top of the prelim card, but that's the one, man. Buckley Thompson for sure.
Wow.
I mean, Stephen Thompson, he's still not bad, but he's getting older and he's kind of doing this a little bit. And Buckley lately has been doing this, and like they're meeting in the middle. So I'm interested to see. I mean, obviously Buckley's never fought anybody like Thompson before, but Buckley's because Thompson's Thompson. But Buckley's been on such a hot streak. I think he's going to get him. But who knows? I don't know how much more Wonder Boy's got in him. Who knows? Alabama white supremacists going to disqualify Los Angeles supremacists.
I'll tell you what, I would never.
I love when this show gets out the. That's my favorite part of the show. It's like, what the fuck are we talking about?
I'd never rule out Thompson just for a couple of quick thoughts, Tim, because I mean, the guy's got a lot more experience than Buckley does.
Mm-hmm.
And there's just something about him. Maybe he's got this desperation where he knows he's getting close to the end of the road. He's not going to keep fighting for the next 10 years. So maybe he pulls something out of his ass and pulls out the upset because there's no way he's going to be the favorite in this fight. I don't see it happening at all. Like you said,
no, he's not.
Buckley's on a roll. Yeah.
He's like a plus 160 underdog. So he's not huge. But I mean, the thing is with Thompson is you never know how his opponent's going to be able to react to his style. Like they try to get ready for it, but no one can really emulate him. Not really. I mean, maybe MVP, maybe Michael Venom and Page a little bit, but that's why I kind of like to see him fight Thompson. But fighting Thompson, I've said it before, is like trying to hit a knuckleball. It's like it's completely different from anything else you saw. You don't know.
He's awkward and sort of tall, and he knows how to move. But at the same time, I mean, Buckley's a killer. Like, I mean, he's had some pretty impressive performances the last little while, like you said.
Yeah,
so
he's been on a real hot streak, and
I'm
really excited for that fight. Even if I don't get the main card, I'm definitely going to watch that fight, and I am excited for that fight.
Yeah,
that one will be good for sure. Other than that, I think Ryan Span's fighting OSP. Yeah, he is.
OSP, holy shit! When's the last time he's fought? That was probably like 2 years ago or something like that. Right?
I don't think it was that
year
long.
and a half ago.
Let me take a look. His last fight was September 7th. No, don't take that back. That was March 16th. He fought Kennedy Njejiku and beat him.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah, he wasn't supposed to win that fight. So and he's he's 41 years old. He's a really big underdog in this fight against Span. But I mean, he wasn't supposed to win his last fight either. I saw him Span. But I mean, when's he gonna be? Did he say he's gonna be done soon? I don't know. Well, who did say they were gonna be done on this card is Esparza. Esparza said this is the last one. She's hanging it up, no matter.
Oh,
what.
really? Okay.
Yeah. And she's fighting Tisha Torres Pennington. So that'd be a good fight.
That's an all Mexican battle. Aren't they both?
They've both been here for a long time. That's Esparza's 36, Tisha's 35. So they've both had tons of fights in the UFC. So that's good. Your last fight, when you're done, you want a war. Even if you don't win, you want you want to go out in some kind of fun note.
Now, what are the odds both of these broads have the fight of their lives and they both retire on the same fight? Wouldn't that be so cool? You know what? Why not? Just go out in style.
It would be sweet. I mean, everybody wants that. Everyone wants, even if they lose, they have a war. Like, I remember when Roxanne Modafferi retired last year, whenever that was, she fought in a style she usually doesn't fight. She stood up and she tried to bang a little bit because she knew it was her last fight and she didn't want to go out with a lay and pray even a win.
Yeah.
So she fought her style that really wasn't her style, but it was her last fight. So fucking, go out on your feet. Yeah. She lost, but.
Yeah, but you see, that's the kind of, she didn't really have the greatest style and she didn't win all the time, but there was just something about her that people like to watch. And that's something that the women's division needed, right?
Everyone,
just more like her.
Most people like a fighter that doesn't seem like a fighter. At least I do. They were always my favorite. If you met her, you're like that. You guess a profession. You probably have 1,000 guesses before you guess professional mixed martial artist.
Exactly. You'd think like a wine sommelier, or she plays the piano. Something.
Or even doctor, lawyer, psychiatrist, some sort of teacher. You would go on forever until you got and even if you got the professional athlete, you'd probably go like badminton Olympian, maybe table tennis, pretty good at that, cornhole champion. You wouldn't go fighter. It would take you a really, really, really long time to get the fighter. And I mean, I feel like of everyone that was in the UFC at the time, it would take you longer to get the fighter with her than anyone else. If you're guessing someone who had no idea who they were guessing professions, I feel like Jordan Levitt's another one that if you met the guy, talk to him for 5 minutes, and then guess what he does for a living? Yeah. You didn't know you didn't know anything.
Yeah, he looks like he delivers babies, or he's he flies a profession, like a commercial airline for.
He is a lawyer, right? He did go to law school, so that makes sense. Okay. You would guess Mormon, like you get that part right. I think you would guess Mormon right away. But you guess a cool dude. Brother Levitt for sure, but other than that, but that's why I like him. I love guys who are like that, because some people think that guys like that don't have killer instincts when the door's closed. Well, guess what? They do. Not everyone's the same. And that's why I love guys with different personalities. One of my favorite things about the sport is that not everyone has the same personality. Not everyone is Sean Strickland. Now, people who don't follow the sport assume they're all Sean Strickland, and I understand that. But then you get the Jordan Levitts, right, or the Stephen Thompsons, right? Guys who are like this, they'll hold the door for you, the sweetest people on earth. But when you lock that door, they're going for your head.
Exactly. And this is a great lesson for the younger viewers. Never bite off more than you can chew. Always assume the person you're going to act tough to is 10 times as tough as you, because you never know if they're trained or if they're not. And then when you're in a pile of your own blood, then you'll be like, oops, I shouldn't have done that. So pick your spots, folks. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. You see a guy in gym shorts and flip-flops at the bar, I wouldn't fuck with that guy. Like,
Yeah.
my friends that have
exactly.
black belts, that's their attire when they go out anywhere. Is gym shorts and flip flops.
Well, the only times, Tim, I'll be super honest with you, I've never been fucked up like fighting off the ice, but on the ice, I've made a few mistakes, and I got thumped probably twice, really, really good. If you're fighting the guy that's much bigger, you don't get that initial grip, and he pushes off your hand and leans in and just starts feeding them to you. Yeah, the grip is the most important part of a hockey fight. But you take your lumps. I mean, wow, I was lumped up for a good week, man. I had a good headache too, so. Good lesson.
Hockey, I've said this before, but hockey is definitely a sport that if it was available in my area, I probably would be interested when I was a kid.
Nice.
But it wasn't, it wasn't. I played floor hockey, and every time I played floor hockey, I was like pretty decent for the floor hockey kids.
Okay. But just some sports, depending on what kind of part of the States you're in, totally.
Yeah. We don't have lacrosse here either.
Yeah.
And I mean, a little further, like a half an hour or so north we do, but like in my area, the schools here, no lacrosse, the girls don't have field hockey, no hockey, no men's volleyball. So, man, it took a long time to get soccer. We didn't have soccer for a long time.
Oh, really?
Well, the girls didn't have soccer for a long time. One of my friends in high school, she played on the boys' team.
Okay.
Because they didn't have a girls' team, so she played on the boys' team, and then she quit because they brought in a girls' team when I was in high school, but the first year they weren't official; they were a club team, and they wouldn't let her play for the boys' team. It said she had to play for the club team. She's like, "Well, the club team is an official team. Why do I have to play for them?" And she wasn't wrong. I agree with her on this. And she got mad and didn't do either. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah, she's like, because I've been playing soccer my whole life. Most of the girls, they just asked girls who weren't doing a fall sport who play other sports, and they didn't know what they were doing. She's like, I've run circles around them. Why am I doing this? I want to be in the boys' team, and I should be able to because the girls' team isn't an official team. I was on her side. She didn't win that argument. I think she should have. Anyway, that was a random bit of nonsense. It's the best part of this show.
Oh, of course, you can't pick and choose when things.
What do you have going on? I want to do a little bit more. Are you okay with that? What you got going on? So what you got going on right now? I want to go a little bit longer.
Can you hear that?
All right. I can, yeah.
I got the squirrels. I got this gigantic tree, and all day it's the squirrels fighting and the birds. They're just up there Jerry Springer all day long, man. It's pretty cool.
That's funny.
Oh yeah, I'm not tired at all, man. It's not a big deal.
All right. What I'm gonna do. All right, hold on. Don't get excited. This is just me. Every time I log.
Oh, Tim, you're being sniped, man.
It's me.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, because I'm getting on the I'm gonna get on the page here. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play one of our intros and get a drink, take a pee. I'll be right back. So I'm gonna play this 2 minutes. I'll be back. If I'm not back in 2 minutes, filibuster.
I got a little experience. I know what I'm doing.
I trust you. All right, I'll be back. Glitch in the Matrix.
Fights in the day and fights in the night. But
glitch in the Matrix. A swing. I like swings. When's the last time you got on a swing? A while. Yeah, dude, it's fun. I have one in my backyard. I'm afraid it's gonna break though.
Well, I was about to say, just go get some new chains at Home Depot and a tire and see what we can drill some whole shit in it.
Well, you know what? I mean, you look at it and it's never budged. So I feel like I could still swing on it. It's in the backyard there. It came with the house.
I'll get a message going, Ray, it budged.
All right, that's all.
I try not to.
Really? Because you talk. Well, now you're talking about it. Also, you put it on Facebook all the time just to piss people off.
Yeah.
Which is listen. Now that I know you as well as I do, it's funny to me because I see people like making a terrible mistake.
You're just like,
yeah. Like people just making the terrible mistake of getting into an argument with you. Like I say all the time, it's like trying to argue that you try to argue the sky isn't blue, and someone's like, it's right there, it's fucking blue. And they're pulling their hair out.
It's turquoise. It's turquoise.
Yeah.
Okay. Outside of the knockdown in the third, I had Francis Ngannou winning on points by multiple rounds, 2, 3, maybe even 4 rounds. How on earth do you score this fight for Tyson Fury?
You knew there was no way, dude. You knew before I get to her side, I was just gonna say you knew there was no way the judges were gonna give
Yeah.
It was never going to happen no matter what Francis did. He was not going to get 2 out of 3 judges on this card. It's too bad for boxing if he loses. I've never ever seen a fight where I saw it and I'm like, that didn't happen though. That didn't happen. Like I honestly saw still to this day I don't believe that happened.
No, not at all. I do not. I don't get it. I don't understand what the hell. Like, okay,
It's gone full WWE, man. There's not like, no, dude. That wasn't real. That didn't actually happen. No. Pro Plata, where black people and white people talk nonsense. So that's a fun thing to talk about.
yeah, guys,
Yeah.
that's how we start a show.
Yeah. It could all be avoided if we all didn't have the technical competency of like 80-year-olds. I know who the Miz is. And that's only because he played in the celebrity softball games at All-Star Weekend. That's the only reason I know who the Miz is. All right, we made it.
Oh, hey. Here I am.
Yeah, sorry to abruptly turn that on.
Oh, that's all good. It's all good. I just finished blasting one, and I'm inside.
There you go. Now I'm breathing heavy because I was trying to move fast. All right, what's the chat got going on?
Were you moving fast, or did you just push out a small pumpernickel loaf?
Both.
Wow. Ouch.
Nah, I got more drink. Had to pee.
So no word back from the boys, eh?
Neither of them. Let me double check Discord real quick. But yeah, nothing from either of them. That's weird, man.
Okay.
Tell you what, though, you're going to be nominated for Hero of the Week next week. Good for you.
Save it for a much more worthier.
Well, listen, man, I wouldn't be. I can't. I think the most I've ever. I think I did 2 hours by myself. What that? But we had a good chat. Like if I have a good chat, I can do it.
Well, that's the whole thing. I mean, it doesn't take a genius to figure out if there's some good conversation and people know how to bounce off each other in the chat. You know, if you just kind of have a nice flow, you could turn 1 hour into 3 or 4, but it's exhausting. You know, I've done it a couple times. It's, you know,
yeah. On the people who don't do anything live, where they don't have, they just do pre-recorded videos where they don't edit shit and they just go the whole time. I don't know how the hell they do that shit. I mean, most people edit their shit, but.
Well, I mean, that's super easy to do, and you know, if you're super good at editing and cutting in and cutting out and making all the great effects and shit, that's cool. But doing it live is a little bit different as far as I'm concerned. You know, like it's not being a hero, but I just know that it's different.
Right. I mean, the reason we started doing live is because it was easier.
Okay.
Because we had it pre-record and then we edit shit, and neither of us wanted to do that, so we just let's just fucking do it live. Okay. So the first maybe 10 or 12 episodes were recorded, and then we started doing live. Man, every time I look at how many episodes we've done, I'm like, what the fuck? 343? Are you fucking serious? To no one.
Well, at least the hard work's paying off. I mean, it took you 3 years to get to 200 subscribers, and overnight 200 extra popped on, and there you go. That's just the magic, right? That's the magic.
Yeah, still don't know what the hell happened there, but I'll take them. It's fine. Hey, Ray still owes us a tattoo. He said at 200 he was going to get a Bro Plata tattoo. He said that.
What?
Yeah,
I can't remember him saying that. That must have been one of my
shows. He was going to do it in Vegas, but then he goes to Vegas, and I'm like, getting a tattoo. He's like, oh, I'm not going to get it. He still says he's going to get it, but I'll believe it when I see it.
Well, I might have to hold him to it. You know what I mean?
I am for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, he's going to get that logo in the corner there.
Good stuff. Yeah, I'll never get a tattoo. I'm like 50, and I've never spent money to get one. I don't know.
I've never had one either, and at this point, there's nothing. Also, maybe it's the OCD. I feel like as soon as I got it, no matter what it was, I regret it. I feel like I would. So I just, no matter what it was. So I don't think I'll ever get one.
Well, they're super cool, and when you actually stop and think about it, you know, people that do these tattoos, they're super creative and really good at what they do for the most part, because these designs that are on people that have them, like, they're just immaculate. It's hard to believe sometimes some of these things were done by one person, and you know, they just took their time, and it all that's the way it was done.
One thing that can draw like that, let alone to be able to do it with a gun. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
My brother has tattoos, and he's like, oh, I want to get, my arm finished into a sleeve. I'm like, oh, what do you want? He's like, whatever the artist wants to do. He's like, I trust him. I'm like, all right. I mean, if you get somebody good, yeah, I trust them, sure.
Yeah. Yeah, don't get any pot plants. Holy smokes, the whole town will kick you out of
That's true.
out of the state lines.
That's true. You have to go to work and tape them up.
Jeez, unbelievable, man.
Yeah, when I heard that they didn't want sales here, when I read the article was when I really laughed because, like I said, they blamed the homeless shelter, which is in between at least 2 bars. So I'm like, what are you?
That's quite a thing.
Man. Yeah.
So you said you've got baseball tickets for Saturday afternoon, the day after
Saturday,
tomorrow?
Guards,
Nice.
Tigers. Pretty excited for that.
You should try and get a little bit of footage while you're in there, like take some pictures and maybe a couple of selfies.
You know what though? I mean, Ray knows this. I'm not a. Can you hear the echo, the reverb? Can you hear that?
Is that coming from me or is that coming from you?
No, it's me. Can you hear it?
No, because I've got my see that thing right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I grow my plants in too. Like I've got outdoor and then I've got a couple in here, so there's a fan going, so I can't hear whatever.
It's fine as long. So it's my phone because my phone is on the StreamYard app, and even though I have my sound off on my phone, it still comes through, which is annoying. But so I can hear it, but as long as no one else can hear it, it's fine.
Cool.
Anyway, but I'm one of those people. I'm a live in a moment person. Like I'll try to get like one picture. That's it. I don't like to go to shows and watch it through my phone. I'm like, dude, I can do that. Someone else is doing that, and I'll do that with their video. You know, they'll put it online. I watch that. I'm not going to do it. Yeah, I'm not that guy.
I guess maybe for like super special things, like let's say if they won the pennant or they won the World Series, then you would really go nuts.
Maybe like last out if I had to have it. Like I did that with the last playoff game I went to. My phone was shitty. I turned it on as soon as a walk-off home run was hit. Got my phone, just wanted to watch the crowd go nuts. And when that happened, my buddy texted me. And when he texted me, the camera shut off and I lost the video.
Oh, jeez, great.
Yeah. That's not a big deal. But I took one picture. Me and my brother and I went. It was the one thing we did just the two of us was cool. And we went and I'm like, I know you're not a picture guy. I'm not either. But I'm like, we got to get one. So we got one like before the game started. We got one and that was it. I'm like, that's good enough. I'm good enough. I don't need another one. So
cool.
Yeah, I don't do videos or pictures much. I do when I'm with my niece. Usually I want to take a picture or two, but that's it. I do that quick before the game, and then I'm off my phone. I like to live in the moment, man. I pay money to live in the moment, you know?
You can have the mental moment. You don't have to have it on your phone or on a Polaroid or something like that. Right.
And also, like no matter what event you go to, somebody else has it. You know? Somebody else took a video. You can usually find it on YouTube. You know what?
I think you can still get Polaroid. You can buy the instant cameras on Amazon or something like that. I think they still have them.
I'm sure they still exist. I have one in my room. I don't know how old it is.
They're terrible for the environment for some reason. Sure. I don't understand why, but I guess like once they fade away, like it, they don't biodegrade like everything else does.
Kenoto, thanks for being here, brother. If you're still here, thank you.
Is that Kenoto's in the chat? Oh shit! Wow,
was may have left when we were talking about baseball and weed.
Baseball and weed, yeah. And the Canadian dollar, 75 cents. Like if you decided to come to Canada for a week and you brought 1,000. You know what, Tim? You're getting 25% of that back as soon as you get there.
Not bad. I will say this though: I'm not allowed in Canada.
Oh,
currently.
How is that? Like, DUI. You don't have to bring it up.
No, DUI. I've talked about it on the show before. I had a DUI in 17. I had a DUI. Ray had one, like a year ago or 2 years, pretty recently.
Well, can't you get a pardon? Like seriously, I thought it's like 7 years or
it's 10 years.
Oh, 10 years. Oh, yeah. Wow. Okay.
So I got 3 more years. Now there are ways around it, but it's like it would cost me money. It would be a thing. Like it's not.
It's not worth it to spend 6,000 to spend 1,000 on the holiday. You know what I mean?
Right. To just drive up to Toronto. Toronto is like 8 hours away. It's not a bad drive. It's a doable drive.
Not that bad.
Like my goal, I don't know if I'm going to do it because it's going to be difficult, but I would like to get out to every ballpark, major league ballpark. And I think one that's drivable that I could do is Toronto, but I can't do it yet. But I will do that probably when I'm able to.
Sure.
So I got to do Detroit. That's drivable. I don't know. I'm saying drivable was like less than 10 hours, but most of them aren't. So.
Well, I'm probably like if I got in a car and went to Vancouver, it'd probably take me 6 or 7 hours, but like I would get there kind of thing. So like I'm not that far away.
Real out in the middle of nowhere. You real up north?
It's beautiful. No, I'm down south. Like I'm in the it's called the interior. Like I'm basically in the Pacific Northwest, but I live in Canada, right? Like, I mean, and Danny and some of those other folks that live down in Oregon, I'm not that far away.
Just say, well, if you're 7 hours from Vancouver, how far are you from like Seattle?
Probably another hour and a half, so 8.5 hours.
8.5. Okay.
Yep.
What's the closest big city?
I would have to say probably Kelowna is about an hour and a half away, and it's probably 100,000 people. So,
okay.
And that's where the major airport is too, Kamloops and Kelowna. That's where you got to go to take the plane to get anywhere, kind of thing. So,
what was it called?
Kamloops and Kelowna.
Okay, never heard of that.
But I don't live in those places. But like you asked, what the two bigger cities were. So.
Right. Yeah, I'm like right smack dab in the middle of Columbus, Pittsburgh, and Cleveland.
Oh wow, okay.
They're all about an hour and a half, hour 40, depending on where you go.
Sure.
I say Cleveland's my city, but yeah, the other two aren't that far away. I don't go to Pittsburgh much, but
does Greyhound still operate, or are they canceled out?
I think they do. I mean, I think they do. They used to pick up in my town. I think they still do. But I don't want to be on a bus, bro. I have a car.
No, Greyhound was in Canada for a couple of decades easily. As I was growing up, I always had to take the bus to go see my dad on the holidays and stuff like that.
Not cantaloupes and canola, Kelowna.
And the whole thing is like when I was like 14, I'd have to get a piece of paper signed so I could get on this bus to go to Edmonton and see my dad. But at that time, there was only smoking in the last half of the bus, so they always had me at the front. But by the time you got there, there was just a cloud, like because people could smoke on the bus back then.
Mm-hmm.
So. Oh God! But they changed that years down the road, and Greyhound also pulled out of Canada. They sold right out.
Oh, really?
So they haven't been in Canada for a lot of years.
Can you smoke cigarettes anywhere in Canada? I mean, I know it's not legal, but I mean, like publicly.
Yeah, well, I mean, with a lot of common sense, like nowhere's near a doorway or where there's going to be seniors or kids. Just a lot of common sense involved. You don't have to.
But not bars or restaurants.
No, you can't smoke in bars or restaurants anymore. Now they do have an outside patio, where it's open air, like nothing that's got 4 walls and a ceiling, but something that's open where you can smoke. That's fine.
In Ohio, you can't either, but there are some states like Pennsylvania, you can still smoke in bars. I went to see my family, and I went out with my cousin, and he's in a pool league, and I went and hung out with him, and everyone's just chiefing in this bar. I'm like, dude, I haven't been to a bar and smoking forever. Wow. It was so weird, and I hated it. Like, my coat smelled like
it's a huge difference, though. Like, I mean, you go to a place for a lot of the time that there's no smoking, and then you go to a place where there is smoking. It's a total different thing, man. You feel it the next day in your nose and your lungs, and
yeah, I hate it. I mean, I live with my mother, and she smokes, but she smokes outside, because she's the one who smoke up her own house. But
sure,
yeah, I've always hated it. And people I know who smoke or know that I get annoyed by. Now if I'm at a bar, I'll go outside and hang out because that's where people are. I mean, we're outside, we're okay. I'll just stand, won't stand downwind of it, but this is Kanoto said Brock Lesnar and 2 joints are only 2 men in Canada. Is Lesnar out there right now?
That's pretty good. I know who that is.
Is he is he in Canada? I thought he was in Minnesota. Lesnar.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Lesnar's in Minnesota.
Yeah, he was last time I checked. Are you one of the wrestling fans too, or are you like me? You just like outside being like.
Honestly, I grew up with wrestling, man. I grew up with the old school, the classic, like the Hart Foundation, and Calgary Stampede Wrestling was on in the morning before WWF was on in the afternoon.
It was called Calgary Stampede Wrestling.
Calgary Stampede Wrestling, and
which is now the name of the CFL team, right?
Yeah, but back in the day, it was Ed McMahon that did the announcing, and that's where all the killers came from. Jim the Anvil Neidhart, all the Hart brothers. I could go on and on and on, man. And that was Stu Hart's. He ran the dungeon. He trained these guys to be professionals for life.
I've said on here a bunch that my stance on wrestling is that I'm super interested in the history of it. I have tons of respect for wrestlers because what they go through is insane, and what they do for the sake of entertainment is nuts. And they're great entertainers. I don't personally find wrestling that entertaining, and I've tried. I just don't get it. But I like the stories. I just watched the Mr. McMahon documentary and thought it was awesome.
Oh God, yeah. Well, that's the whole thing too. Like all these other channels, like this Netflix documentary about Vince, and these thousands of YouTube channels that do clips of each individual wrestler, and you get their life story, and it's like that. It's never ending. You could click on it one week and it'd be somebody totally different. You know what I mean?
I mean, Dark Side of the Ring is a great series.
Yeah, I've seen some of it, but it gets a bit repetitive because like it's either the guy beats up his wife or he does too much drugs and goes insane or just something weird, right? It's like,
which says maybe there's a systemic problem maybe that no one's addressing. I could be wrong. I don't know.
But when there's so much money and so much fame involved, like I don't think nobody wants to rock the boat. Like, I mean, okay, if you know somebody's not having a good time, just let them do what they do because we don't want to affect the other ones that are handling it. And just this one person can't handle it. So let's not rock the boat. But then this is what happens, right? Shit goes bad.
Netflix doc, you know, they talked about the new allegations and stuff and the old allegations on McMahon. They aired some dirty laundry and they're about to have WWE on Netflix very soon.
Wow.
So,
like I'm not some little TMZ bitch, but like what I did kind of see on the internet the other day, Ashton Kutcher might be getting divorced because he was in a lot of pictures with P. Titty. I don't know if you've seen that, but
oh, really? Was he?
Yeah,
he's married to Mila Kunis, right?
Yeah, the little short. She's got the little pug dog face. She was great like 10 years ago. Now she looks like a sandwich lady.
Hey, she's still playing Meg on Family Guy. You know, she's been doing that for 20 years.
Well, what about Demi Moore? Like, how can Ashton Kutcher go from Demi Moore to somebody like that? Like, I mean, wow.
Oh, listen, I mean, I would go Kumis over Moore. I know it's a choice thing. Also, it's an age thing, right? But if we're taking both of them in their prime, it's a win-win. But I mean, Moore was so much older than Kutcher.
Have a couple of kids like way back in the day.
So. Yeah, and then she went to Kutcher, and she was like 20 years older than Kutcher.
Wow.
Maybe not 20, but she was a good bit older, over a decade for sure. It was like a noticeable difference in age. But then they got divorced and he got married to Kunis, which was interesting because, you know, they played boyfriend and girlfriend on that 70s show when they met. You know, that's kind of neat. Mia looks like Golem now. I think she's still cute as hell. Yeah, Kanoto says Mila looks like Golem now. Kanoto, how are you, brother? Have you been here before? If not, I mean, you know, I don't want to twist your arm or anything, but if you haven't subbed, it'd be really cool. It would mean a whole lot to us, like a lot. And anyone here, if they haven't liked that too, I hate that part of this, man. I hate the fucking being a whore part of this, you know. But it does matter. I wish it did, but you know, we appreciate it.
Don't worry about it, Tim. Everybody does it. And
I know everybody does it.
Like you're not selling drugs or you're not human trafficking. You're just asking for a little to keep the algorithm cool, and everybody.
Oh, he's been here. Okay, Kanoto. All right, thanks, brother. I appreciate you. Yeah, it's one of the things. I don't know. I don't not talk shit, but like I don't know. I'm not an internet person like Ray is, but I am on the internet, right? So, but I don't watch a lot of stuff. But you know, I don't know. We try to do things just the way we want to do them here, you know, and no one else has to do them our way. And I understand people don't, I get it. But our thing is, I sold already. Hey, do you sell crack here? Asking for a friend. You know what? Maybe if Ray was here, he'd help you out, but he's not. I'm sorry. I see Pulse on here a lot. Yeah. Pulse is part of our show. I don't know where he is today. He's supposed to be here. I hope he's okay. But I don't know. One thing, I don't know if I want to say pride. I've been drinking a little bit. I don't know. But when I talk shit, and no one else has to do this, but this is how I prefer to do things. I don't know. 2 joints. I don't know what your name is. Don't need to know what your government name is. Your 2 joints. That's all I need to know. But I talk shit. If I'm going to talk shit about people, you know my government name. I'm easy to find. Like that's how I've just got to do things. That's me. Like if you're going to talk shit, like I'm not going to hide behind a mask. That's me, though. And everybody else, you can do whatever you want. But I do my thing. And do I wish everyone was like that? Sure. But you don't have to. I understand that, especially because people on the internet are dangerous. I mean, I think Sean O'Malley just got swatted.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, that's one thing I do worry about because, you know, Ray and I both give our names. And, you know, like most people in America, we're not hard to find. We don't want you to find us. But I'm saying if you were so inclined, it wouldn't be difficult. You know, I mentioned where I live all the time on here. So it's not, you know, it is what it is. But I don't know. This is the way I prefer to do it. But I don't know.
Well, you know, don't ever worry about the style of the show you guys have or, you know, you think you might or might not have. I mean, just do if it's not as much fun as if you have to go by somebody's standards or by somebody's script. If it's totally original, then just go with it.
We know tons of shit that we could be doing to be more popular. Tons of shit. Like if we just decided we're going to go full like MMA guru style and talking shit on people, that we would do great things for our channel, but we're not those kind of people, and we rather not do that.
Yeah, but that's not really original, though. I mean, it might work for the
Not
first
that
little
either.
while, but then after a while, it's like, okay, well, we already know what these guys are going to be like. But I don't know. Like, I'm not a professional.
That's not our thing, man. We're not those kind of people. I don't know. Maybe it's because we're Midwest. I don't know. We're not those kind of people, man. I mean, listen, we'll talk shit about every once in a while. Like, I have my opinions on Dana White. I have my opinions. I think the hardest, there's shorts on our channel of me going off on Jorge Masvidal. And that's the person I went off on the most, I think.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
But
no,
if you ever saw them, like, hey, my name's Tim Danko. You want to say something? That's fine. Like, I'll double down. I know you can beat me up. One of my videos on the shorts is me being like, I know you can kick my ass, but what does that have to do with anything? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I still think he's a bitch for him going after Colby in a restaurant or wherever the fuck he was, sucker punching him when he couldn't beat him in a fight. I will say that forever. That's
the more I remember thinking about that, I just wonder if it was staged. There's just some things that happen, especially with Colby, not with anybody else, but just with Colby, that you just wonder in the back of your mind, is this fucking staged? Like,
that guy's whole life is staged. I mean, you talk about anyone.
The whole thing, paying women to come to him in these photo shoots in the hot tub, and he's got his hands around these two broads. If he had any kind of balls at all, he would have picked them up the night before. But no, he probably had to pay them $5,000 each to be in that photo shoot. Like,
yeah, but also I think 99% of people are aware that it's a setup thing that he's doing it. It's a picture that he paid people to be in this picture. I don't think anyone's like, oh man, he has 5 girls at once. I don't think anyone believes that. Yep, this is Kanoto. Yep, that's where I stopped liking Jorge when he jumped Colby. That was me too. Okay. I had respect for him as a fighter, but once he did that, I'm like, that's a bitch move, bro. I respect you as a fighter, but that's a bitch move. The fact that you could not beat this guy in the cage, so you sucker punch him in the street. What the fuck? That's not a man move, in my opinion. I don't know. I say the world's manliest man, but it doesn't seem like a man move, in my opinion.
Yeah, because it's just such a shame because nobody else really kind of does that. Like, if that was in the cage, it would be considered like that Jim or that daily move where he sucker punched Koscheck and got kicked out of the UFC. But
right.
Jorge did it, in a buffet place or outside the bar or whatever, and just mess, right? Had to go to court and spend a bunch of money on a lawyer and blah blah blah. So, but that's what happens.
And
you don't wait until you get in the cage.
Colby for pressing charges. Good for him.
Yeah. Well,
that's one of those things too. Like, if someone sucker punches you, do you press charges? Well, it depends on the situation. If somebody was just drunk and I was fine, I'm like, I'm fine. It was drunk. It was not a big deal, whatever. Like, sometimes. But there's other situations that you're like, I need to make a statement. It needs to be done. Like, I've umpired baseball for a long time. And luckily, I'm not one of the ones who got physically attacked. I thought it might happen before, but I never did, luckily.
Oh, baseball. Tim, quit your bullshit. Baseball is nothing like soccer. You ever see those soccer highlights on the fucking YouTube where there's half of the team is chasing this poor fucking ref who's going this way and that way, and all these professional athletes are just closing in on him, man. And then
there's definitely videos. I mean, I don't know if you're on Facebook, but there's a page called Upside. Sorry, Offside. It's run by a soccer ref, but for years now they've been putting all these videos. For when the guy started the page, he was paying $100 a piece for any videos of people abusing referees verbally or physically, and he put them all on his page. Like, we're just going to call these people out, and there's so many on there that make you go, can't believe these people still.
But I mean, like, I should have been a little more clear, but like in some of these weird countries like Colombia or Argentina where there's like people coming off the stands to get at this referee, and that's just where it gets totally insane. Because like 1 against 300 usually doesn't work out so well. Right.
There was, I think, a year or so ago, there was a basketball video where there was a referee. I mean, he was getting chased by like 10 people, and he was like backing out, trying to throw hands, defend himself. I felt so bad for him.
Wow.
Like, I'm like, this guy's no shot. But I mean, I know there's been a couple deaths but I think the deaths I've heard about have been soccer guys. If you sucker punch somebody hard and hit them in the right spot, you can kill them.
Oh, for sure.
And there's been a couple deaths in like adult league soccer where guys would just like deck. I'm like, but what I was saying is, if I ever got physically abused or a hit on the field, I'd feel like I'd have to press charges for referee's sake, right? You have to tell people this is not okay. You can't get away with this. Kanoto says, pretty sure Colby is also gay. The women he always He's always with or most likely paid. You know what? If it's gay, who gives a fuck? That's a whole other can of worms I can go down on. Down through. How I think that's obviously there's a lot more gay men in sports than admit it, and they still feel like they can't, and can't come forward or can't be themselves, and that's very unfortunate.
Hey Tim, don't tell Ray, but I've always wondered about Sidney Crosby.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Who
Don't
cares?
say anything to him. Keep this on the down low.
There's a lot of rumors about the guy from my neck of the woods, Cody Garbrandt. There's rumors about him. Have you heard those?
No, I just don't want Ray to know about Crosby. Man.
Crosby?
I don't want him to be pissed off.
Oh, Ray wouldn't be pissed off. Ray wouldn't give a fuck. I mean, listen, if I found out my favorite athlete right now is Jose Ramirez. He is like a savior in Cleveland. I love Jose Ramirez to death. He is the man. He is beloved. He has married and has kids. But if I found he was gay, it would change nothing. I don't give a fuck.
Raymond
says,
absolutely adores Sidney Crosby because this debate came up a bunch of shows ago. Who's the better player, Sidney Crosby or Alex Ovechkin? Who would you rather have? And when somebody said Ovechkin, Raymond went off. It was like, no. And you know what? He was kind of right. But I'm just saying he does adore the fella. Don't try and throw smoke screens my way, sir. Like I know where we are right now.
No. He's definitely a homer, and he admits it. But also, who is the greatest hockey player of all time?
Gordie Howe.
Opinion. Better than Gretzky?
Yeah, because Gordie Howe, like those guys had to fight and struggle, and like every night somebody was trying to kill them. These other guys were protected. Lemieux was protected. Gretzky was protected. Yzerman.
I understand that, and that's also.
Menko.
I understand that, and that's also the debate that Ray has with James, with LeBron James and Jordan. But what I always say is just because an athlete didn't have to go through it doesn't mean they couldn't. When I said LeBron James, like, oh man, back in the day they played tougher defense and they had, it was a lot rougher game back in the day. LeBron couldn't handle that. I'm like, the LeBron that's never had to play in that kind of basketball couldn't handle it. If you put him in a time machine and put him there, he'd have a hard time for a minute. He'd figure it out eventually. But if he grew up with that kind of basketball, he's 6'8", 270. He'd be fine. It'd be a different game, but he's too good to not be able to adapt to that. So I think the same thing with Gretzky. I think he would adapt to it. I think he's too good to not figure that out if that was the game he had to play his whole life. But you don't know that for sure. But I give him the benefit of the doubt in this situation.
Well, I mean, at the same time, he had to work his way up to the top. It takes time. The same thing with Tyson, same thing with all these other guys. But nowadays, if you got enough money and you got some YouTube experience, like look at Jake Paul, blah, blah, blah. We won't need to get into it. But just the way he gets to where he's getting to, I mean, it's just frustrating. Like in the old days, you really had to struggle to get to where you get to. But nowadays,
I cannot knock anyone's hustle. I can't do it. I mean,
but
I can't even like OnlyFans people or anything on anyone on social media. I can't knock you for making money, bro, because people obviously want it. It doesn't matter how you get. Like, I can't knock Jake Paul. I can't do it. Doesn't have to be my favorite person, but I'm like what he's doing. Pretending like I wouldn't do it would be a lie, So Kanoto says, Joints, if I saw you getting hurt playing soccer, I would press charges against you for playing soccer.
No, Kanoto, you never got to worry about me playing soccer, bro. And nothing against it. Roberto Hernandez loves it, but I'm hockey and football, and that's pretty much about it.
Soccer is one of those things that I never paid a lot of attention to growing up, but whenever time I watch it, I'm like, I went to one Columbus Crew game and it was a blast. Excuse me. They're fun, man, and they keep talking about putting like either a lower level professional club in Cleveland or a women's team in Cleveland, and I'm like excited. Like I hope, like if you tell me there's like cheap tickets and dollar beer nights at a soccer game, I'm fucking going. Like, wow, that sounds fun.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Soccer's a fun sport, and I always watch the World Cup. It's when you're invested. When you're invested, soccer's fun.
Mm-hmm.
But casually, no, casually. Yeah, definitely.
Well, for a lot of years, the Canadian women's team was actually top of the line. But I think a few of the girls have retired or they're coming up to retirement. So we'll have to see.
One of the best players on the American women's team is I don't know her first name, but it's Dennis Rodman's daughter.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's great.
I thought she would have been in the WNBA.
She played soccer.
Okay.
Soccer was her sport, and she's great. So
I'm not being racist. I mean, to the
no,
African
no,
American
no, it's
viewers.
it wouldn't if she was Steve Nash's kid, you'd be like you say the same thing, right?
He's
Although
got
Nash
more. Doesn't he have more MVPs than Shaquille O'Neal?
Nash, I think so.
Yeah,
That's
'Cause
one
I'll
guy.
never
I've only
forget the
been to a
day.
handful.
I'll
Only been
never
to a
forget the day I
ahead.
watched that episode on TNN, just one of the reruns, and it was him and Charles Barkley and some other guy, and they were doing their debates about MVPs, and then Shaq goes on about this Canadian guy and maple syrup and moose ears and shit. It was pretty funny. You know, Shaq's a pretty funny dude.
Yeah, I like Shaq. I like Charles Barkley too, and that's why like I don't know if NBA and TNT may be done, which sucks because that show was great. That's a fun
Yeah.
show. I'm not even. I mean, I'm a big basketball fan, but not a giant basketball fan. Like I'm a Cavs fan, but
The thing is, though, if they end it, they're going to end it because you can't recreate having all the years of all these certain personalities on there with somebody that's just coming in fresh. You can't replicate that. So they should just end it and, move on.
yeah, I don't know, but it was fun. That was, I honestly, I enjoyed that more than I enjoyed some of the games, honestly. And that's the only show I can say that with as far as those kind of shows.
Okay.
But, no, I was just gonna say I haven't been to a ton of NBA games, like 4 or 5, but back in the day, I did see Steve Nash play with Phoenix once. That was fun. That was cool because I just remember him.
Well, him and Shaq, didn't they play in the same team for at least 1 year or something like that?
They played in Phoenix, I think they did.
Yeah.
He wasn't on that team, but Sean Merriman was on that team.
Okay.
I just remember him just like driving in the middle and he almost looked like he was playing rugby, and like how he would just drive in the middle, then pop a pass out to Marion or who else, and they hit a 3, and it was really cool to watch. I'm like, it's fucking great. Him and LeBron together, and it was like 2007. That was awesome to see.
Oh, cool. Right on.
Who's ASM? I got ASM. Yo, 2 joints. How much crack did you smoke today? Good question. Probably none.
Yeah, probably 5 joints or something like that.
Correct. Tim, you look like the peak. You look like the peak male performance. Yes, sir, I am. This is what a man looks like, sir. Or madam. This is what a man looks like. Thank you, ASM. This is true. This is what a man looks like. This is what America looks like right here. Like I should be the poster child for America.
Well, I don't know. All I know is we got to get our shit figured out in Canada.
What's
get
going
the
on?
dollar down to somewhere reasonable.
Yeah. ASM says, tell him, I can tell just off the bat, you're going to be a superstar, and 2 joints should just get off camera because it's not made for you like it is for Tim. Thanks, ASM.
That's right. Maybe that's the person that says if you don't have anything together by 37, you're totally finished in life. Maybe he's
Tim,
right.
you are America Trump 2024. Tim, all I gotta say is basically the Justin Timberlake. Thank you, sir. ASM, I hate to be this guy, but if you could subscribe, we would love you for it. We love you anyway, but we really appreciate it. So, and 2 joints is just here, like help me out, saving the show today. My 2 co-hosts, I usually have 2 of them. They're both not here, and I don't know where either of them are. It usually doesn't happen. I hope they're okay. Let me check my phone again. One's probably asleep, and the other one, who knows where he could be.
Tim, you should make the call live, like when you dial the number.
I've done it.
Tell them we're live.
The whole beginning of the show is me like just calling them 3 or 4 times. Yeah, the first good 20 minutes of the show is me trying to call them.
Okay, sorry, I was kind of busy.
Oh no, it's okay, brother.
Ribs and rice and stuff.
One reason I didn't freak out because I saw on StreamYard that no one was watching. I was like, I'll just wait. That's cool. Dude, I will subscribe right now. ASM, thank you, man. I really appreciate it. I appreciate it very much.
Nice.
Very much. I mean, I don't even, like, we don't get, we're obviously a very small channel, as they say, but I don't even understand the people that come here. 2 joints, I don't understand why you come here. I love you for it, but I don't understand it.
Well,
I have imposter syndrome for like the 3 people we get sometimes. ASM says I'm subscribed only because I think Tim is going to make it big, and he has man enough to show his man enough. Okay, to show his full face on camera. I'm like 2 joints over there who smokes mid Diddy joints only. 2 joints might be a secret genius though. I can make up my mind right now. I'm Okay.
I don't want this guy to sweat it, man. I mean, if you've never watched any of the last 52 episodes of FOF, I've been on fucking all of them. Some of them with my glasses off, but some of them not with, and that's just totally fine.
Yeah,
The internet's a fun place, man. It's not a bad place.
It's hit or miss. You see, the internet's trying to free the Menendez brothers. You see that? I just saw that.
Oh man, you just don't know what's fake and what's real. That's just another thing too, right? You really have to look at the gift horse in the mouth just the right way, because a good portion of the time it'll be fake, right? You know, like Ron Howard. There was this thing on YouTube about Ron Howard dying, and it was like, oh no. And then I went on to another channel and like, bro, it's fake. And I was like, oh shit, you know, so.
ASM, first time tuning in. I appreciate you being here, brother, or sister, whoever you are. I appreciate you being here. Look at this. This is like the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me, by the way, is I think Tim's going to make it big. That might be the nicest thing. I was just trying to get a compliment out of you before Two Joints, because I don't understand why you watch the show. I'm not trying to fish for a compliment. I honestly don't know.
Well, you know what, Tim, is just there's some kind of a routine, you know, especially when the weather's not the greatest in certain parts of the world, and you know something that's on Tuesday or Thursday, and there's a few other channels that do the same, and there doesn't have to be a few hundred people at the same time in the room chatting, and quality over quantity sometimes, and it's just, you know, it is what it is. There's a zillion channels, so if anybody's here anyways,
yeah.
You know,
I appreciate it. That's because the thing now, like back in the day, it was getting a show, right? Getting a show. So now it's trying to get you. Anyone can get a show. You can just make your own show, right? And put it on YouTube. But now it's getting people to watch it, and you're up against everything, like literally everything. There's like, you know, because streaming and whatnot, you're up against everything for people's time. So it's wacky to anyone, you know. So I get it. See, ASM says that's so choo Joints. You're growing on me. I always don't know what's real and what's not. I also am diagnosed with schizophrenia. It's the kind of people we like to have here. Hope you're doing good, by the way. But that's besides the point. And then Kenoto says Menendez brothers would have been acquitted if they killed their parents in 2024. That's 100% true. I 100% agree with that.
Wow.
I mean, yeah, they just 90s was a terrible time to say I was abused.
Well, the whole thing is, you know, getting back to the live stream and stuff like that, like I'm super, super lucky, like hanging out with Moss for 3 or 4 hours on the MMA holes is just, it's easy as pie. You know, sometimes I do get super nervous, you know, because sometimes there is a few hundred people watching, but at the same time, it's like, bro, I've done this a fucking bunch of 3-4 dozen times. So just relax. And it usually ends up coming up really great, you know, well produced and just a great community. And it's a fucking a great place to go. So.
Yeah, I mean, every time I get on here, I know that it can be anywhere from 0 viewers to everyone. So
yeah, oh, exactly.
And everyone hasn't happened, but I just, you know, and if it does, that's why usually I tell Ray not to tell me how many people are watching, because I don't care. I'm gonna do. I want to do the same show no matter what. I know today because I'm on the StreamYard app running the show, but all right, ASM has a couple more here. He says, and by diagnosis schizophrenia, I mean that I'm just autistic. Yeah, happens to the best of us, right? And by autistic, I mean acoustic like Conor McGregor off 2 bags of the white powder, baby. Staying your ground, mate. Dude, we talked about that last episode. He's been something else lately.
But you know what? All that partying's catching up to him. You can tell in the last little, the gambling thing where somebody showed Paul showed a clip of it. That guy looks aged. Every time I see him, he just looks a little more aged. And it's all the coke, man. Like his muscles, there's no definition. His hair is starting to really thin, you know, and his face, you can't get that back, man. Once that shit goes, you can't get it back.
Yeah, I will say, though, if I was that rich, I don't know, at this age, and I got that rich now, I wouldn't fuck with that shit. I know better. But if it happened when I was 25-ish, yeah I probably would go into that.
He's going to have to hit bottom before he slows down. Like, whatever. If he wants to do what he wants to do, it's fine. But he let the fans down over the last couple of years. Sure, I know he's had some injuries and blah, blah, blah. But 100%. He really could have made more of an effort. So
100%. Also, he could have just been a couple years ago, just like, hey, guys, I'm just not going to fight anymore. That would have been fine. But it's because him teasing, I'm going to fight again, then not doing it. That's what's getting people to turn on a bit. But
absolutely.
ASM, to joint, you have no room to speak on McGregor. You look like you have been doing more coke and McGregor and the McGregor and haven't eaten for 4 days, buddy. You even got
Oh no, I know I look skinny. That's just the way it is.
That's my favorite part about this show. Is someone who's like, I'm just gonna talk shit about it.
Yeah, no, it's all good,
guys.
It's all good.
Thanks, buddy. Yeah, that's fine.
Right on. So what do you got in that cup? You got some bourbon and Coke Zero?
Yes, sir. I got yep, so yes, so I got Buffalo Trace and Pepsi Zero today.
Nice.
Yeah,
you ever watch King Cobra JFS at all once in a while for some laughs?
No.
The Bogman guy?
No.
Oh, he's pretty funny, dude. You got to check him out for some laughs.
I believe you, but I don't watch. Like I said, I don't watch too much internet shit.
Okay.
Not against it at all. But I just shows I watch. MMA Holes, shout out, of course. And every once in a while, I'll turn on Are You Garbage? That's a good show.
Oh, really?
It's a fun show.
That sounds like an uplifting, self-supportive show to watch.
Oh, you haven't seen that one? It's two comedians, and they get like a comedian, or they get a celebrity on. They had one with Tony Hawk. It was fun, and they just ask them questions and try to figure out if they're garbage or not. It's real fun.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's like all kinds of normal questions. Like I think they asked
this,
like Tony Hawk, you eat scrambled eggs, you put cheese in them. You know.
I'm really enjoying Bob Levy's Levy-verse. He's got his own show Out of the Coffin, and there's another couple other shows. It's pretty good, man. He gets 300-400 people in his chat room every time. Like, I mean, it's quite a thing.
For him. And you know what? He's been doing that for a long time. He's been doing an internet show for over a decade.
Well, TSN and Shuley and all those other fucking guys.
He had like his own network for a while too. I doubt he remembers me, but I've known Bob for a while. He was always real nice to me. He was cool.
I'll tell you what, like, I'm not some hero, but it's pretty fucking cool. I can spend a couple of $3-4 and this guy will read it on his show and he'll be like, oh, hey, I've been watching the show for like 6-7 months now. And it's kind of cool. He's somebody that's a legend in the comedic world. And he just kind of acknowledges me, and that's pretty cool. Life's short, Tim. You got to have some fun,
Oh, for sure. No, Bob Levy was always super nice to me. I think I told this story before. At the comedy club, I was working there, and he just comes up to me and be like, hey, you have credit card debt? I'm like, what? I'm like, yeah. He's like, I have a great consolidator. I'm like, what? And he gives me their card. And he's like, did this person help me? He was like selling this debt consolidator.
Oh, wow. I wonder if he was on the pills back then. He was trying to scam you out of some money. Hard to say.
Maybe. I don't know. He seemed genuine. Yeah. We got a lot of good comments here from ASM. I only drink diet soda. Just I assume Tim does as well. It's true. And Tim might be biased enough to only drink non-diet soda, which would be insane. And Tim, by the way, I know you're a genius. He's in a Jesse Pickning kind of way. Thanks, brother. I appreciate you.
You know what, Tim? Why can't you get this kind of support from your co-hosts that have been around you?
I know, right? I don't even get it from them. They don't even show up. No, actually, Ray does give me a lot of compliments. He does. He's nice like that.
Yeah, but does he really mean them? Does he say them in a genuine way, or is he just throwing it out there?
He wants me not to quit, I feel like. He also said Tim sounds like he's from America, and Two Joints sounds like he's from Canada. Well, nailed that on the head. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly they get the prize right there.
What do you guys think of Jesse on Fire? Do you think he rails Adderall all day, like 200 milligrams? And we got a new subscriber. I could be putting these up. I keep forgetting I can put these up. I just don't mess with the StreamYard thing that often, because I usually have someone else to do that for me. Nope. Hold on a second here. Where are the comment? Oh, nope, that's the wrong. Yeah, ASM. You probably can answer this better than me, Joints. What do you guys think of Jesse on Fire? Do you think he rails Adderall all day, like 200 milligrams?
Well, I mean, the guy definitely is passionate and he gets fired up about what he says and stuff. And, it's hard to say, you wouldn't want to go out on a limb and just say he does something and then he roasts you on this next show because he says you're full of shit. But if he does, he does, I don't know why people need that. But, I mean, a lot of times people need something to slow them down instead of something to speed them up. I don't know.
Right. Here's one from Marcelo here. New subscriber here. Thanks, buddy. Who is the biggest nation in MMA? By legislating and contribution to the sport, Brazil or USA? It's a good question.
Brazil.
Who answer that?
I'm not dissing my USA friends. I would have to say Brazil, honestly. I mean,
so there's an argument for both, but I'm going to be the contrarian and pick USA, and this is why. Because this is the question: who is the biggest nation? I mean, I don't know how you're asking that question, so I'm just taking that as everything, not just fighters, right? And listen, the sport was invented right here. The first MMA show ever was in Colorado. And yeah, a lot of it was Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which is down there. I get that. You have to count champions, I guess, if you really wanted to split hairs. It's pretty close. But because most of the bigger shows have been in this country, a lot more of them in this country than Brazil, I would say this country.
okay.
But it's close. Like, I mean, not close enough for me to like scream at you as in a debate. Like, it's Also, I'm just saying that because he said the other one, but it's you make arguments for both for sure. But I do think USA,
and I mean,
it's very close, like fucking splitting hairs.
The guy does have a point because I mean, you can't look at any other nations that really have had the talent that either one of them have had for all these years ever since the UFC started and all that shit. So, but
Here's
that's a good question. Actually, that's a tongue twister.
Better question. Who's number 3 then?
Number 3.
Yeah,
wow.
If it's USA, Brazil, whichever order, who's the third? Is it Russia?
Maybe Russia. I don't know.
It's Russia or Canada, I think.
Russia. Well, Canada. Our fighters are just trash. I don't know what it is. Like I don't know.
I mean, you had a couple great ones,
we had, yeah. I mean, but you can't hang your hat on a guy from 30 years ago. GSP and then Rory McDonald. One of the top 5 fights in UFC history, as far as I'm concerned. Him and Robbie Lawler that one night. But
yeah, it was great.
Aside from that, rough going. The women are okay though. They're consistent. So
yeah, have you been here when we played the new game? Who this fighter is? Have you seen that?
Oh, I've tried to participate in a lot of the games, but the producer and the co-producer, they never let the viewers into the games. Then maybe this can be a night we change things up. Like
maybe we can get you on to play next time.
Wow.
But what it is I get basically on a Wikipedia page. In the first person just like describe this fighter. Like, I was born this day in this city, and then I give them a couple other things, a couple fights they had, and they have to guess what fighter it is. And we've done it twice. I think Ray won once and Pulse won once, I think. Okay. And but neither of them got many right either time. It's kind of hard. So they make it hard on purpose. But yeah. Well, rub and tugs legal in Canada. Are they?
Rub and tugs. I'm not really sure. The nearest strip bar is probably like 2.5 hours away from here, man. Like, I mean, it's just not like it was in the old days where there was tons of sleazy bars and tons of strip places, and so.
Right. Let's see what else we got here.
How's that? A little bit brighter, eh?
Oh, you're fine, brother. Let's see. ASM's calling you a Jewish Walter White.
Jewish Walter White. Actually, I'm actually more Scottish than anything else.
Yeah. He also says that you look like you spent half your salary on rub and tugs. No, I look like that too. I look like I look like a happy ending kind of guy. I always say that my co-host Ray, who is not here today, looks like the kind of guy that would hang out at the Hooters and then like offer to walk girls to their car because it's safer, as if he's safe. Yeah, I don't know. You know what? I love that number one, I love that we have new commenters. Thank you, guys. I love that. Anytime we have anyone new in here, it's awesome. Thank you. Keep commenting. Whatever you fucking want. It's awesome. I love you. Awesome. But also I love when it goes fucking off the rails. And that's definitely, I like to see this Ray guy. Well, Tuesday. Hopefully Tuesday he will be here. He will be here most likely. He just fell asleep, I think. This usually doesn't happen. You say 343 episodes is usually both of us. And possibly Pulse.
Now, could Raymond be involved in a romantic relationship and we don't know about it, Tim? Is this something that could be on the go?
No, he has a girlfriend. I know that. I met her. Yeah, she's cool.
That's because I could have swore I got the vibes. I got that feeling, man, that the Raymond was playing hide the monkey again.
He
got rid of Shauna.
That did happen, but he is dating somebody. But he would have told me if he was doing something else. He's asleep, most likely, or dead, one or the other. What's the craziest drug stories you both got? Okay. Don't lie. And 2 joints is that sandwich or a brick of Coke? It's probably not Coke. It's probably weed.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm. There you go. I don't have anything real crazy. Yeah, nothing real weird. Just like the first time I did Coke, and that was doing off a dryer. Didn't know what was Coke. Didn't know what was dust, shaded characters, running, then like running through a cemetery at some point. I have a little tiny scar on my stomach for jumping the fence. It's weird. No, nothing too crazy. That's just kind of normal.
Well, Tim, it's just the one thing about Coke is people always got these stories. Yeah, we did it off the back of a toilet seat at the bar, and it's just like,
oh yeah, that too.
That sounds like the last place you'd ever want to shove something up your nose that's been hanging out on. Like,
100%. But the thing is, when you're on it, you don't give a fuck. So,
well, yeah, you just hope it's not all baby laxatives, and you're all dressed up and you smell like cologne, and you're doing is shitting on the toilet for 2 hours because it's all baby fucking.
Yeah, that too. Definitely why I don't touch this shit anymore. Mainly because I don't trust it. Also, I feel like at this point my heart would stop. But both of those things. This is just weed, but this was just a fun story. One time, I was like 22 or 23, maybe. My friends just called me in the morning. They're like, dude, you want to go to Niagara Falls? I'm like, what? Like right now? They're like, yeah, right now. And we went, we got like an ounce, and we just smoked the whole thing in my friend's Yaris. One of my friends is a pro fighter. 2 guys that are black belts.
Okay.
My buddies who are black belts. And we went to Buffalo, got wings at Duff's, which is a famous wing place. And then we went to Niagara Falls, but we could only go to the US side because I was the only one with a passport.
Okay.
So, and that was it. And then we just drove back. It was like 8 hours up, 8 hours, but you know what? It was fun, and I'm glad we did it. It was like, it's one of those things, Joe. You're something you probably won't do in your late 30s, but something you do in your mid 20s, and it's probably the highest I've ever been.
Well, and like you said, spur of the moment. If you planned it for 2 weeks from there, it might not have worked out, but spur of the moment, maybe you had the cash and it was okay. I had that good feeling, like, let's go,
Yeah. Well, we didn't spend a lot of money. We just spent it on gas, and it wasn't a lot. We probably spent like $100 each, maybe.
Okay.
Because we didn't do it because we went to the free side of we just stopped for gas and snacks, and that's about it. It was basically the whole thing was driving. And my one buddy was with us who passed away, and it's just a good memory. Anyway, Marcelo got a good question. Hey guys, if Alex Pereira beats Khalil and moves up to heavyweight and beats and wins the heavyweight title, well, he'll be the greatest in history. He'll be pretty damn good. However, he's not John Jones. I do expect John Jones, unfortunately, because I'm a Cleveland guy. I do expect John Jones to beat Stipe. I believe John Jones is the GOAT. As much as I don't love him as a person, it's hard to say that he's not. And even if Pereira does do that, unless he beats John Jones, I can't say that. And I believe John Jones most likely will never fight again after November. I'd be very surprised if he did.
Well, is it pretty safe to say, like, if Pereira stays as consistent as he is after Jones retires, he's the torchbearer, like, as the pound for pound champion, you know what I mean? Like, if he keeps winning,
for a while. It takes a lot to beat Jones on that list, especially if they never fight, but he'll be definitely up there, man. And you know what? He's only had like 10 fights. How many fights has he had?
10 or 11 or 12 or something like that. He spent most of his time kickboxing or something like that, didn't he? He was on the.
But yeah, he'll be on the list. He'll be close to it.
Wow.
Here's one from ASM. Tim, are you a wholesome bro? And you got that IT. You're a wholesome bro, and you got that it factor, homie. Excuse me. Can I put a word on it? But you got it.
But you know what?
Me, hold on. I'm the greatest talent scout of my generation. I'm 22, by the way. I have potentially and the most likely super genius in my own way. That is super benefit. Okay, listen, man. I trust you, brother, and I appreciate the compliment. Honestly, like I do a lot, like a lot. It really means a lot. Thank you,
Tim. Another thing about Pereira is he fights all the time. You know what? And I'm sure he's.
That's
that's another thing that the fans like. They don't put him off, and he's got lucky. Knock on wood, he hasn't gotten injured, but he fights a lot, and that's what the fans like. You know what I mean? So
I love it. I mean, my favorite fighter in the UFC. Do you know this? Have you heard this? I've said it a lot. Do you know who the answer is here? Do you remember? You've been watching the show a lot. No? Okay.
I'd have to think. You got to let me think for a minute.
Think for a second.
Boy.
I start giving you some hints.
I know that.
What?
It's not Jorge Masvidal.
No, it's not Jorge Masvidal. I'll give you the hint is that I fell in love with him in the COVID era, like 2020, because he fought all the time and he won, and he was maybe the most entertaining thing happening in the pandemic was this guy.
Jamal Hill.
No, not bad guess.
Okay. I don't know. Sorry.
Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland is my favorite fighter.
Right. Yeah.
He's fighting this weekend.
Yep.
Mr. Trapper Keeper. I call him because I said I love him so much that if I was a teenage girl, I'd write his name all over my Trapper Keeper.
Oh God. Ooh.
But I said that in 2020, and now we just call him Trapper Keeper. But he's been fun as hell, and I hope he wins this weekend. Even when he loses, he has good fights. So most of the time,
who's he fighting again this weekend?
The Lazi.
Delazzi. Oh wow. Okay, he's been on a bit of a skid, eh? He's lost. His last two in a row?
Holland's the favorite, but it will be good. Stylistically, that's a great matchup.
Well, what happens if he loses 3 in a row? Just Uncle Dana doesn't cut him, does he? He's got to lose more than 3 in a row.
Oh yeah. He's still good. Like even if you lose a few in a row, if you're good. Like, I mean, look how long it took him to tell. They never cut Ferguson. They just told him, "Hey, you need to retire," and he lost like 7 in a row, didn't he? How many in a row did he lose?
That makes sense. Maybe I'm a little hard on the guy. Maybe I shouldn't be so hard on the guy. Moss just loves the guy. He just loves him.
Mossy?
Oh, Moss loves him. It's probably because of his hair and he bangs all the women. And like Moss is a married man, but back in the day, him and his buddy V-Neck, their jizz is all over the New York bars still, man. There's DNA all over the New York metropolitan area.
I believe you. I'm sure there's several Subway babies that belong to him. ASM's asking Diet Pepsi, Diet Coke. Both. You need to answer the question, which is better. So if we're just saying Diet Pepsi, I like more than Diet Coke. Regular Pepsi, I like more than regular Coke. For a long time, I drank Coke Zero because it was the best option. Is better than Diet Pepsi. But now Pepsi has Pepsi Zero, and I like Pepsi Zero more. So overall, I'm a Pepsi person more than a Coke person.
Aspartame is total AIDS, and I mean, you don't got to be fucking Dr. Drew to figure that shit out. It's artificial bullshit, fake sugar or whatever it is. I don't like it. You guys don't need it. You can't process it. It gets stored up in your body. If you drink too much of it, it takes a long time to break down and evacuate your system, right? Anyways, what do I know, right?
Everything we eat is garbage, at least in this country. ASM wants to know which round Pereira is going to knock out Roundtree. He needs an answer from both of us.
The third.
I was going to say second or third.
Khalil's tough enough. He'll know when to hold him and fold him. But I mean, there'll just be a time when maybe it'll be too much, and then Pereira will just flatline him.
I think that will happen. I'll tell you what, though. I mean, if Roundtree pulls up the upset, I'd be thrilled. Like that's fun as hell if he does. That's nuts. I know Pulse thinks it's going to happen.
Well, how can we ask Pulse or Ray if they're not here?
I know.
I'm just throwing that out there, Tim.
No.
Throwing that out there.
What do we actually think what happened to him? Did they meet up? Did they meet up in the middle? Did they meet up somewhere in like Arkansas? Right? They both drove met in the middle, Arkansas, and they're in like Little Rock, and they're getting fucked up. Right? They're doing rails, man. They're getting hammered. And I
think something came up in their world that was just too good to pass up, and they just figured, you know what? I think Tim can actually take care of our business tonight, and they just figured something else was more important. And wow, I'm happy for both of them. You know what I mean? But the show still goes on, Tim. Like even if I wasn't here, you still would have kept going. You wouldn't have pulled the plug on it like a coward.
I would have went for a while at least. I think last time I did it by myself, I did 2 hours, which is pretty. But that was because I had a good chat. If I don't have a good chat, it's hard. Now, if I was prepared to do it by myself, it would be different because I'd have a bunch of topics I have shit to talk about. But I'd never prepare when this happens. I never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, but who needs topics? I mean, what if you've got everything written down on a piece of paper before your big interview and then you lose it? You've got to improv on a heartbeat. So
good point.
Deal with it.
Interviews we've done, and I haven't done enough lately, but the big ones, like the ones I would consider the big ones for us, like Pat Miletich and Jessica I'd write a couple things down, make sure I didn't fucking forget. But usually I don't write shit down.
Okay. Well, it's all good.
Who needs topics when you have ASM in the chat? That's true, brother. I'm not gonna lie. Like you give us a lot. I'll take it. But I'm almost at the end of my rope here. I'm gonna finish my drink, and I think that's probably it.
All right. Whatever you want, Tim. Whatever you want, man.
I can't say how much I appreciate you, brother. There wouldn't be a show today without you. Or there would be, but it wouldn't be as good, and it probably would have been a lot shorter. Here we go. Marcelo says, do you think it's possible to see a fight, Jones versus Pereira, or Jones versus who's that? Espinal? Oh yeah, Aspinall. Or Aspinall and Pereira. Who do you think would win? I think the most likely in that scenario is Aspinall Pereira. I think Jones really is going to be done after Stipe. And I think I don't know. But I'll tell you what, I'd watch it.
Oh, for sure.
That sounds like a great matchup. That sounds like one of the best matchups I heard in a long time. Aspinall Pereira.
Yeah.
So,
well, I wonder how long Uncle Dana will put the eventual Pereira and Aspinall meeting up. Like, does he pull the trigger on it?
Here's the thing: if Jones and Stipe retire, who the fuck is Aspinall going to fight?
Yeah.
Who's up? Who? That he hasn't already beat or?
Yeah.
Who am I forgetting? Am I forgetting somebody? Not really.
I don't think so.
I mean, Gone maybe, but that's okay.
Yeah, but Gone, he's just underwhelming. Like, I mean, sure, he beat the shit out of a few guys, but then he gets steamrolled by Jones. Like his next couple of fights are really going to dictate what kind of a fighter, is he going to be consistent or just be a can after that,
ASM wants us to put this one up. Here we go. Aspartame is only for real strong men. You're a beta to join, so you knew I was right all along this time. Okay. Yeah, but now listen, Jones Pereira would be a giant fight, and I hope they both get paid what they should get paid, which is, man, for that fight, probably just about as much as anyone ever's gotten paid in that company for that fight. If they pay him that, it might happen. So,
well, I'm sure they'll get what they want, but I mean, these days the fighters bitch enough, they always cave in, Uncle Dana. But back in the day, it wasn't like that. You know what I mean? I think the fighters just got what they got. There wasn't a lot of bickering and shit. So,
yeah, but I think there needs to be more bickering.
I'm not sure how dark it's going to be, so we'll have to check this shit out here, bro.
It should be dark by now.
It's kind of light out. Let's see.
It's all right. You watch the show, we never see Pulse's face. Like he's in his apartment, but he never puts a light on his face for some reason.
See, now I look a little sketchy. That's all good. It's getting dark out anyway, so.
Dude, you look like the Unabomber after a good shave.
There we go. Yeah, it's nice though. It only gets to like it'll stay about 7 degrees above tonight, which is nice for this time of year. Like it's the first week of October, so. You're
talking to an American, man. You think I understand Celsius?
Yeah, no, that's right. I think we set our clocks back coming up too.
Yeah, we do that pretty soon too. We keep talking. This whole country keeps talking about just axing that, and I hope they do, man. Every year it happens every year, but every year it sucks. Like what's going to happen when it sucks. You're like, fuck this, fucking awful. It's 5 o'clock and it's pitch black. Bullshit.
Well, it doesn't really accomplish much at all. It screws people up. Like how many people just. Honestly, out of the million people that work, how many of those are going to forget to deal with their clock or it screws them up somehow? Or...
Well, the thing is now we have phones. So luckily, cell phones automatically update. That's what most people use for their clocks. So I feel like that's less of a problem than it used to be. But sure, it's a problem for some people. And ASM says you look like a crack dealer or a shitty undercover cop. No, I feel like you look like a vice cop, dude. You're like your job has gotten you that has fucking run you ragged for years. You've been doing this a long fucking time in Vice, and it does something to a man. Two joints, it does something to you, and you fucking you've seen some shit. You've
that
seen
says
some shit.
I think I could definitely agree with that, but I mean, you never let it affect you. You know what I mean? It's
right. You got a
I've
job.
Never had a problem.
Job
I've never
do,
been
right?
to court.
This is the work you signed up for, right? This is what to serve and protect. This is what you signed up for, and yeah, it's ruined your life, and yeah, maybe a couple marriages, but this is what you do.
No, that couldn't be so farther from the truth. But like, I've never had a jaywalking ticket or nothing like that. I've never been to court. I've never gotten in shit. That's just the honest truth, man. 50 years on this earth.
Yeah, that's good, man. I mean, my only thing was the DUI. And I did have to go to traffic court when I was like 17. I got in a wreck when I was 17, and they took my license away.
Well, they changed all that shit here now too, right? Like, I mean, I think it was 9 months. If you get pulled over with a DUI, you didn't have your license for. Now it's only 90 days or something like that.
What?
They really changed it.
It's funny. They changed the license suspension on DUIs here for some DUIs from 6 months to a year. Literally like 2 weeks after I pled. 2 weeks. So I got lucky. I only 6 months. Ray had a year. So
yeah.
ASM says two joints. You're a very respectable man. Take anything negative I said about you and smoke it away in the clouds that you puff of pure gas. OG, much respect, brother. How old are you guys? We talked earlier. Two joints is like 50. And I'm 37. All right. I think it's about it, brother. Listen, man, I can't thank you enough, man. And this show would have been shit without you. I hope you had fun. That's all I care about.
Well, no worries. I'm glad to have a little chit chat, and hopefully the boys are okay and stuff, and they're not incarcerated or something like that.
I don't think so, man. I wouldn't think so. But it's weird that I haven't heard anything from either of them. It's very strange. And hopefully they're okay. I'll let you know if they're not. I'll send you a message if I find something out nefarious, but they should be fine.
All right.
Shout out to joints for joining the Superstar Tim. You guys made my night. ASM, appreciate it, brother. You were fun. Come back. We'll be back on Tuesday at 7 Eastern. Yeah, that being said, two joints again, man. Thank you so much, brother. A lot.
No problem.
You had fun time.
Anytime. All the best to you and Tim and Ray and and Pulse. Sorry, I'm a little fried, but all the best to you.
Got you, brother. Instant, man. If I smoked as much as you did, I couldn't speak. Literally could not speak. So
it is what it is. All right, take it easy, man.
All right, brother. See you guys.